What's this guy's name? It's something Hawk. And it may sound stereotypical, but dude looks like he's done some time and sounds like he's done some time.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Your thoughts ain't my thoughts. Bitch, I'm flowing straight from the survival scroll. Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
Yo. Peace to the tribes. You already know what it is. Now live with the Unconquered Tribes. Live via Hawk School. For the gifted and the elect. What do we have here? Oh yeah, we're just gonna do a little book review. But as I reviewed the book, as always, I end up down some strange ass rabbit hole. It took me to a whole different place. Pimps Up, Hoes Down. Live book review with your knocker from the blocker. Banner. White slave traffic. Who knew? And this is the actual book. Sorry, I'm early. We're gonna give everybody a minute to get in here. And if you just tuned in, please share the stream. Let them know we live. It's up. You know what I'm talking about? You want to drop some jewels? Tribe. You know how we rocking. So share the stream. And goddamn, we're gonna get it cracking. Like 5 minutes. You know what I'm talking about? You already know what we about to play. Tribe.
Niggas switch sides, don't hate the riders. Hate the game, don't hate the riders. Don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders. Don't hate me, man. Don't hate ass niggas switch sides. Don't you see me switching lanes? Let me buy when you see me ride. Don't you see me switching lanes? Bitch ass niggas switch sides, don't hate the riders. Hate the game, don't hate the riders. Don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders. Don't hate me, man. Don't hate ass niggas switch sides. Don't you see me switching lanes? This king shit, fuck chains, man. Give me gold bars and gold crowns. If a pimp's up, these hoes down. Housewives turn porn star. These hoes go too far. I'm guru, this gangsta. St. Louis don't fight fair. Put bullet holes in your bank job. Fake hoes get exposed. Eat bitch niggas like takeout. Hate the game, don't hate the riders. They watch us like a stakeout. Lurking on my Instagram. Is that what all that hate about? You acting like I give a damn. Like I don't know these hoes foul. Okay, I'm reloaded. Who wants a war now? Knock, knock, better open up or we gon' kick the door down. Pine lines stay soldiered up, nigga, you can ask the whole town. I walk on water like Black Jesus, it's rider season. Let me buy when you see me ride. Don't you see me switching lanes? Bitch ass niggas switch sides, don't hate the riders. Hate the game, don't hate the riders. Don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders. Don't hate me, man. Don't hate ass niggas switching sides. Don't you see me switching lanes? Let me buy when you see me ride. Don't you see me switching lanes? Bitch ass niggas switching sides, don't hate the riders. Hate the game, don't hate the riders. Don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders. Don't hate me, man. Don't hate ass niggas switching sides. Don't you see me switching lanes? I'm 100 in any lane, like a neurosurgeon, get plenty brain. I'm plenty high, you know how we ride. Don't you see me switching lanes? I'm out my mind like insane. It's my time and I'm not playing. I buried a pharaoh in hot sand. Don't they know this God's land? Fire water, they see me ride. Don't they know this God's plan? If you ain't about it, don't talk about it. Look, bro, that's all that I'm saying. Minivan full of contraband. 415 like a marching band. Got a sweet 16, 500 grams. Wake up now, nigga, not the scam. Wild child, nigga, Taliban. Got a wild style like a spray can. Niggas fake like spray tan. Bitches shady like Ray-Bans. I'm unpersuaded, I can't be faded. I'm underrated, I gotta shine. Fuck the clock, boy, fuck your watch. Ride or die, nigga, now it's time. Let me buy when you see me ride. Don't you see me switching lanes? Bitch ass niggas switch sides. Don't hate the riders. Hate the game, don't hate the riders. Don't hate the riders. me ride. Don't you see me switching lanes? Bitch ass niggas switch sides. Don't hate the riders, hate the game. Don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders, don't hate me, man. Don't hate ass niggas switch sides. Don't you see me switching lanes?
That is obvious, but we don't know if it's obvious that God is white. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Jesus did not have blonde hair and blue eyes. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the images of Jesus that are on prison walls and churches throughout the world are not historically correct, because history teaches us that Jesus was born in a region where the people had color. There's proof in the very Bible that you asked us to read in Revelations 1st chapter, verse 14 and 15, that Jesus had hair like wool and feet the color.
Yo. Peace to the tribes. Hey, man, let me fix this screen, man. This motherfucker all in my face, you dig? Let me give my shout outs to all everybody who tapping in early, you know what I'm saying? If you want a goddamn free shout out, all you gotta do is show up, you know what I'm talking about? It's going to be very interesting. I found some very interesting information in this book that we actually stumbled across. I believe it was the last live stream. I had to, I go back and watch the shit just so I can, like I say, memorize what I've already learned, because it helped me, you know what I'm saying, with the repetition. But sometimes it be shit that I missed, you know what I'm saying? And, or overlook, you know, because I'm just a man. I gotta get my medication together. Let's get this shout out going. Peace to the tribes, peace to the tribes. As always, man, we appreciate you for taking time out your life and tuning in. What we got here? Pimps up, hoes down. We're going to discuss this. We're going to do a little review on this book, White Traffic, which was pretty much, I won't say a complete waste of time or utter waste of time, but it's definitely a hijack book. But the beautiful thing about it is that you can always catch a liar in a lie. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to lie away the truth. So, I stumbled across a few, very revealing things. I don't think I'm going. I need to be over here a little bit more, don't I? I don't think I need to. We're probably gonna just keep it on some scholarly shit and read out this book. But I actually did come across a couple other books as a result of reading this book because it was cited as their sources. So we will begin with the shout outs, of course. Let me see who went here. Shy Apple's in here. Tribe, Snake God. Chief Crazy, Overstanding, Tribe, peace to the tribes. Shout out nonetheless. And of course, Magnificent Sister Soul Main Radio is in here. Tribe, peace and bliss be upon you. Dak Hosen, Enots, Chief Noble, I don't know if I said you, peace to the tribes. Much respect to everybody who's tuning in. You know what I mean? With the Incredible Hawk. We bullshit a little bit when we first come in, but we want to give everybody a time to catch up, you know what I'm saying? We don't want niggas who want to see the live having to be rewinding and shit. And then, of course, you the large professor got to goddamn roll up. You dig? Tonight's topic. White slave traffic. Let me get this book so that I can share it with you. In case you may want to read along or something. Yeah, I read the whole thing, man. Shout out Celtic Indian here. Tribe. What it do? Here's the primary source, of course. You know how we rocking. We're also streaming this on Hawk Talk Live, our backup channel, just in case they try to goddamn stop the motherfucking rain. Man, I saw some crazy shit. Maybe we'll look at that to give everybody a chance to get in here. I only got a few tabs. 1, 2, 3. We got the road to Shanghai, white slave traffic in Asia, 1899. I haven't had a chance to look at that. We'll probably say that for the end because, like I said, I haven't seen it, but I will be providing the link in the chat. So much. Yeah, we only got a few. Oh, damn. Pause that, man. Was that playing? Fuck, man. I had that motherfucker where I wanted it. Oh, man, they trying to fuck with me. You fucking devils. Oh, there we go. Pause. All right. We'll get to that in just a moment. Oh, yeah. Something crazy. All right, let me start being a little more studious. Let me write this time down on this video here. Do I have a pen or something? Hey, I just want y'all to know that it was the way of our ancestors to memorize shit. And that's how they goddamn finessed us. 4219. I just want to show y'all something that's totally unrelated, but insane as fuck. Yeah, man, talk to him, Enoch, man. Don't be sneak watching, man. Let me put that on there, man. Nigga be sneak watching, man. Share this shit. Tribe, man. What y'all doing? Let me get some bows and arrows in the chat, though, if you hear me loud and clear, man. You know how they fuck with me. So, you know, I watch random motherfucking videos, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, if I want to see something that's going on in some place, I watch, like, some random motherfucking vlog or some shit. So, damn. Ain't that a bitch? I was watching it on the TV upstairs. And now this shit acting like it don't want to show up on my history. This is insane. What the fuck? Oh, man. Let's just get to it then. Fuck it. Yeah, I connected quite a few dots, you know what I'm saying? Reading this book. That's some weird-ass movie or some shit. Obviously, it was a epidemic of sorts. You know, I gotta get goddamn smoked out before I get going. Well, I guess we'll get back to that because apparently I'm gonna have to go watch it upstairs and add it to the list and all this old weird shit. Damn, man, I should have saved it to a playlist or something. This shit smoking too, boy. No, we'll start with the book. since this is about the book review, right? Okay, then. Oh, this is the other book. This motherfucker told me to return it already. This is a little blue book, number 1709, The White Slave Traffic. This is a whole nother book, and apparently, I still got it. This was from an earlier year, though, and it's only a few pages. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Let's get on topic. Get on task, as they say. Shout out Old Head in the building, Tribe. Yeah, so we was checking this book out yesterday. We found it, and I decided to read it. And of course, it's just mostly talking about prostitution and shit, pandering. You know what I'm talking about? But there is some very telling information in here that I think we should take a closer look at. So I'm gonna just get right to it. Peace to the tribes. If you're just not tuning in, please hit the like. You know what I mean? Share this so that we could get out here. Share it on your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever you got. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fast forward a bit because I'm gonna assume that you're a subscriber based on the algorithm, or should I say based on analytics. Most of the viewers are subscribers, and I appreciate y'all for subscribing. So shout out to you. I ain't seeing a lot of bows and arrows in the chat though, man, homie. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to go out of this mode, come back in here and see. It's looking kind of weak, low key. That's why I've been going live, man. You know I'm Shadow Band Clan, so we got to be active on this motherfucker. Turn up, you know what I'm saying? We ain't even got 1,000 views on the goddamn powwow video. You know what I'm saying? So that mean it ain't even 1,000 motherfuckers. We'll say a nigga watch it twice. That mean it ain't even 500 motherfuckers that know powwow's fake. And shit, that shit's important, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is important, but I know, like, it'll get out there. You know, we just putting a ripple into the universe. Live book review. White slave traffic. I wish I had more hands so I could get his book 4 thumbs down. But, you know, that is how you acquire this knowledge. It ain't nothing but a little 200 pages, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but a little baby read. So here's the table of contents. We'll just go over it, you know what I'm saying, for those who are uninformed. The white slave traffic, the traffic, how girls are kept in slavery, women's slavery on the Pacific coast. And what I want to reiterate is because I've often heard the Pan-Africanist, Pan-Africanes, the Pan-Africanes, them niggas, when, you know, they'll discuss the Mann Act, you know, because it's been brought up about, you know, laws being made for white slavery. And they'll say, oh, well, that's about prostitution. Well, what it's really giving you some insight into is the fact that that form of servitude, which we consider slavery, it's not, you know, as you perceive it. Because even though they're in this book, throughout the book, they're talking about prostitution. But they're also is referring to it as slavery. Shit, because they can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And them niggas that had them farms, that was somebody else's property. You know what I'm saying? And they owe them money. And that's really what this book is talking about. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like a motherfucking some shit nowadays, to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? And this is when they first started making the laws against it. But there are some very revealing tidbits of information, you know what I'm saying, that you can get out of this book. But just to save you the trouble of reading this raggedy motherfucker, we just gonna, you know, I'm gonna fast forward to the good parts. And of course, you know what I'm saying, Put it back in there. Well, pause. And there you go. There's the book, in case you just tuned in. Women's slavery on the Pacific Coast. That's very interesting. The traffic in public health, the New York white slave grand jury, blah, blah, blah. Underlying causes, wrong training of children, blah, blah, blah. The book sucks, but, you know, I did find out some other information about some other things we've been studying. If you up to date, you know what I'm saying, with the tribe, and you've been rocking with us, and you've had the opportunity to watch the past few live streams, then this is going to really fuck you up, you know what I'm saying? Here, we'll read this little intro. The white slave traffic. The white slave traffic is the widely accepted term. Let's reiterate that. We're going to do this in slow motion. The white slave traffic is the widely accepted term, okay? So, white slaves. This is what everybody know what a white slave is. It's a white motherfucker in bondage. I don't know what you niggas don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And apparently these were the ones they were fucking, so, and making sell pussy and whatever the fuck, because they had boys and girls. So, but it's slave, it's the accepted term. And this book, I believe, is 1903, 1908, whatever the fuck. You could correct me. I put the link in the chat. So this is the widely accepted term for the procuring, selling, or buying of women with the intention of holding or forcing them into a life of prostitution. The term is fairly descriptive since the traffic reaches to every race and color. However, you see this? This is like a little interjection. When a motherfucker write a sentence, all right, this the sentence. Now, this little pause is to add something to the sentence. Now, it don't have to be there, but it's just to give you a little more information about what they're talking about and what's going on, okay? So in that little section, it says originating in Europe. Because this is a European thing. This was a problem for as we know them, Slavics or Slavages. You know what I'm saying? Squatters, scallywags, rascals, scoundrels. With all due respect, this is just, you know, per primary sources. This is what we've learned. So, I digress. The term is not fairly descriptive since the traffic reaches to every race and color, originating in Europe where its victims are white, but it is generally used to designate the system by which vice markets are kept supplied. Call it a vice market. Okay, if you don't know, I really like, this is for the gifted and the elect. So, but we're going to slow it down a little bit. Maybe somebody stumbled in here new. So I'll give another example of a vice market would be tobacco, nigga, cigarettes. Alcohol is a vice market. Cocaine, booger sugar, white pony. No, but anyway. So there's several vice markets because as we learned in the previous video, with 1700s, you got this Astor nigga, James Astor, whatever the fuck his name. And he done bought 10 pounds, not 10 pounds, but 10 tons of opium that he was shipping. And this is what, late 1700s, y'all? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do a whole build on the early drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? Now that we know niggas is goddamn getting 10 tons of opium in motherfucking the 1700s, who knew? So now they talking about those who make money from white slavery. Okay, this is the terminology. This is common terminology. Let me zoom this in. We got more room before these niggas think we making something up. And of course, yeah, all it's talking about is prostitution, but they slip up in a few places. And that's what I'm going to bring to your attention. Here, we'll highlight this as well. The human shadows of these traffickers are practically slaves. Oh, practically. Just like a nigga with a job is practically a slave. But it means the same thing, okay? They're saying it the same way. Whether the victim is confined behind closed doors or is allowed to go out under close watch or kept in submission by fear of personal violence, she is, under any of these conditions, a slave, okay? This is what they said. I didn't say this. One forced to do her master's bidding. I can't even get to that. And obliged to give to him the money she receives, okay? Plantation pimp hand. Now, of course, this was 1903, all right? So this is 1903. Slavery is abolished. So for all you old super intelligent ass niggas, slavery is abolished. Why are they calling this bitch a slave? Because it's a system, okay? And this bitch is in bondage. She's a slave. And they know what slavery really means. I just had a video where the lady was talking about her, I think it was her grandmother or some shit, or mother, I don't know. She might have been some old bitch. Bitch is an archetype, so don't get all in your feelings and shit. But anyway, the old bitch was like, motherfuckers was getting whipped. You know what I'm saying? With these pale faces. Let's fast forward to the good part. But that's why I wanted to read it fresh, because we read the good story yesterday, so I'm not going to reread that. You're going to have to go watch yesterday's live stream. But I had looked at it again early this morning, and I started reading the story, and I'm like, damn, this shit crazy. So we got a few slip-ups. But, and of course, we also got a few, like, it might be one sentence, bro, when it comes to this research shit, where a motherfucker might say a book or say somebody's name or say a place. For instance, on the outskirts of one of the western cities, there is a cemetery where 451 nameless girls are buried. Wait, what? The fuck? And so I read shit like that, and I'll be like, really? So then I'll go Google motherfucking nameless girls, you know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. Cemeteries, you know what I'm saying? Mass graves. And I find all kinds of weird shit, bro. And what's even crazier is the first thing that came up when I was looking up mass graves was infamous. I don't want to light that up, motherfucker. Infamous mass grave of young women in ancient city of Cahokia. That was the first thing, you know what I'm saying, that came up on my search. So I said, well, let's just pull it up, you know what I'm saying? And see what it's about. Even though we're talking about white slaves, but, research, that's what it does. And that's how you gotta read and study. It's Mound 72. I already know about Mound 72 because I know about all the, they say they was acting like there was some virgins and shit. Shit kind of weird now. But I don't want to take us too far off subject. We want to stay where we at right now. But like I said, you will discover shit, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Nikki Nakia, Love, Light, and Flight. Shout out Miss Davis, Truth Master Dre, Tribe. Where's that story I just found? Yeah, they locking bitches in the house. You know what I'm saying? And this is just letting you know the condition of the world. Because you being told one thing and how motherfuckers dog walking the shit out you, and that's the opposite of what it was. Nigga, we was fucking rich with buildings and property. You know what I'm saying? And I seen something in here where he was talking about after the earthquake in San Francisco. And I'm wondering if, you know what I'm saying, if that was going on. I got to look up more into the earthquakes and the times and the timeline with the Civil War, because we looking at big-ass buildings and shit, goddamn, before the Civil War even jumped off. And that ain't what history been teaching us, or that's not how I perceived it. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think, my mind didn't put Civil War and buildings together. You know what I'm saying? They showing you these old forts and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, niggas, whole apartment buildings, whole apartment complexes. So you got to think in the time of war, motherfuckers just evacuating shit. Niggas shooting and shit. We getting the fuck out of here. Then what happened when the war over? You got all these goddamn brotherhood ass niggas renovating, making new contracts. We learned yesterday, novate. That means to make a new contract, renovate. They renovated all the motherfucking buildings. You know what I'm saying? Took your shit, burnt shit up. They're gonna mention some of that in here too. But I found some telling shit in here. Don't worry, this ain't a waste. You know what I'm saying? Not for you, at least. Like I say, we're gonna extract the best part out of this shit. I just kind of got to skim through it to remember where I was. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of bullshit through here. Matter of fact, do the 2-page shit. And this always white slaves. Accounts she had read of white slave procurers came to her mind. See, this the girl where she'd get jammed up, where a motherfucker, they was talking about, oh yeah, we got to find that. Here it is. Well, motherfuckers making these fake ass marriages and shit. You know what I'm saying? And scamming motherfuckers. And that's how they got the land too. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Let's read a little bit. Say the unhappy fact that the daughters of every state of the Union are menaced by the cowardly agents of this clandestine traffic should be known. 2 other incidents, both known to be authentic, are mentioned here to show that neither social standing nor dignity of bearing afford complete protection. So it didn't matter, goddamn, if you was rich. They was grabbing up any goddamn white bitch caught lacking. And that's an archetype, no disrespect. 3 young girls of good family and irreproachable character. Peep this, attracted by a fortune teller sign displayed near the boardwalk of a seaside resort. So these old same motherfucking goddamn witchcraft ass Illuminati confirmed motherfuckers been doing this shit, bro. This wickedness, like it's really a whole motherfucking bloodline of super wicked motherfuckers out here, bro, doing some shit. We're gonna connect a few dots. See these families and how they, you know what I'm saying? We're going to bring some shit to the surface like usual. Because that's what we do. So these bitches, they going to get their goddamn palm read. Say, went into the house with no suspicion of evil or thought of danger, and soon after their entrance found themselves behind locked doors. In insolent terms, they were told they could not go out, and that as they had entered of their own accord, their reputation would be ruined by letting the fact be known. Now, these bitches got to be some goofies. Oh, you can't leave my house, bitch, because if any motherfucker find out you left when you came in here on your own, you going to look crazy. Bitch, what? These bitches probably didn't even speak English. 2 of the girls were timid, but the third, fortunately, was equal to the occasion. By her coolness and courage, she secured the escape of all 3 from the clutches of a procurer. In another instance, a man seized a young married woman of excellent social position. Because you got to remember, they know these hoes are scallywags. You know what I'm saying? See, that when we looking at all this social position, this is all new money they done just stole from us. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to look into that Celtic Indian tribe. Yeah, it's around this time, bro. Like, niggas, fuck all this old 10,000 years ago shit. This shit is 1820 to 1920, bro. This is that's the crucial 100 years right there that we're going to find out. That's what we got to comb through. That's what we got to piece together and figure out. Shit went all the way south between that time. Says, in another instance, a man seized a young married woman of excellent... Excuse me. Of excellent social position at a railroad station, you damn railroads, in a city where she was a stranger, and attempted to drag her into a carriage. They goddamn snatching bitches into horse and buggy, my nigga. Claiming that she was his insane wife. Oh, man, this bitch crazy. Don't trip. Let me go. Man, this bitch be tripping. Get your ass. Are you kidding me, bruh? This shit this easy. No one could wish to be an alarmist, but for the protection of womanhood in America, the dangers that threaten every walk of life while this traffic in women goes on should be known. And see, the reason this is an issue because you have all these immigrants that are in town. You know what I'm saying? Like, these bitches ain't from here. They don't speak the language, nothing. That's why they getting grabbed up. It says, in the mind of the trafficker, there is no sanctity attached to marriage. Frequently, young girls are approached by suave procurers with offers of marriage. Where the risks are not too great, sham ceremonies are sometimes performed, and instances are known where men have legally married women only to force them into an immoral life in order to collect money from them. All right? Share the stream, man. Share the stream. Share the stream. The lax marriage laws of the state facilitate such a proceeding for usually no inquiry is made to the personal history or character of the man. Indeed, in many cases, the ease with which the man wins the consent of a woman to become his wife, often within the knowledge of her friends and frequently in direct opposition to their judgment, is astounding. She will often leave her home and her family to follow a stranger, blah, 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 blah. This is one where a bitch got finessed at the goddamn record store. They even gonna talk about niggas that goddamn buying pussy in Harlem. We're gonna get to it. Talking about motherfuckers finessing bitches in the marriage, and they still calling this shit slavery. Cause she talking about she got loose because she had read the accounts of the white slave procurers. Niggas out here grabbing bitches up. Came to her mind, and she then realized what she had fallen into. She ran to the police station. Lest she might arouse in him suspicion of her purpose, she consented to the plan, but told him that before going out to the resort, she wanted to get some clothes, and it was arranged that she should meet him at a certain downtown corner towards the evening. She hurried to the county court. Mr. Rose says where an escort was given her and she was brought to the court where I was prosecuting. I armed an officer with a warrant and he followed the girl to the appointed place of meeting. The young man there was waiting for his victim. The officer stepped up and put him under arrest, and the next day he was tried and convicted. It was then learned that he was a well-known procurer of girls. Thus saved from a life of ruin, the girl went home heartbroken but wiser for experience. She was from a very respectable home and had always been good, honest, and industrious. So these hoes ain't safe. Y'all letting the motherfucker convince you of all this of all this bullshit. When this 1903. They grabbing these bitches up, snatching bitches into the carriage. Oh, it gets better. Don't worry. I just couldn't, I didn't want to put it too early. Slavery, that's all they're referring to it as, slavery. Being reiterated, woman slavery. Slavery, slavery, slavery. These slaves are not held by chains of steel, but by invisible fetters that are as hard to break. See, he trying to, this 1908, so he got to put the goddamn sauce on it. You know what I'm saying? But we catching him lacking. We're going to get to it. It's all going to, you're going to understand why things are written the way they're written by the time we get done. Let me get some bows and arrows in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear, man. Y'all looking a little dry in there, man. It's shit too. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Maybe that's the problem.
Giving you more of what you hoping for. You ain't hoping in the Lord, huh? You hoping in vain, material, superficial shit. That's why you can't see me, house niggas.
Goddamn house niggas, man. Oh, man, I found something that's going to blow y'all mind. Don't worry. I'm going to always keep some shit where we're going to fuck them up. I'm going to give you something that's going to fuck them up. And then you can just mark the page and just pull the book out on these bitch-ass niggas. But, I'm a critical thinker, so I keep it all the way gator. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is about prostitution, yes. But it's the same thing as slavery. Here they talking about how much they giving for the bitches. Here, let's go to that. Okay, 1908, January 1909. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you should be goddamn getting sprayed with hoses and shit. You know what I'm saying? You out here goddamn buying pussy from white bitches? Ain't nobody goddamn tried to hang you, sick no dog on you? Oh, they talking about white people. Let's fast forward a little bit. Because these niggas might think it is some white people shit. Let's get to the goddamn meat and potatoes. Oh, this is important. See, and even here, little hints. Says, there seems to be a good understanding among the procurers. Those are goddamn slave traders, okay? Transporters and the keepers of houses of vice in every city, and among them the victims are watched and guarded so as to not make escape most difficult. Threats of violence and death are often made. To white slave, threats of, excuse me, let me read that right. Threats of violence and death are often made to white slaves. And such threats have sometimes been carried into effect, as police records show. It's 1908. They still having an issue with white slaves because this is how the world is. How can this be like this? Some new shit just came out? Is that what you're saying? Oh, this is a new epidemic. No, they actually just in this book, and I'm gonna show you that they just said we just started making these laws a few years ago. Because all these bitches is Slavs. Her earnings may be 10 times as much in this country as in Eastern Europe. Oh, damn, that's right. That is where Yugoslavia is. Why is you saying that she'll make 10 times as much here than she would in goddamn Eastern Europe? Because the bitch is from Eastern Europe. She may at times earn in one day from 2 to 4 times as much as her washerwoman can earn in a week. But of these earnings, she gets practically nothing. The keeper of the house will take 1/2. The girl must pay twice as much for board as she would pay elsewhere, and 3 or 4 times the regular price for clothes that are furnished her. She also must pay the money that the procurer received for selling her into slavery. Okay? Slavery, 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 slavery. And when all these tolls are paid, little or nothing is left. Moreover, she often contracts loathsome and dangerous diseases. Oh, or should we say contracts. Looking forward to an early death. In one of the recent raids, a big Irish girl was taken and held as a witness. She was old enough, strong enough, and wise enough, it seemed to me, to have overcome almost any kind of opposition, even physical violence. She could have put up a fight which few men, no matter how brutal, would care to meet. So this is a big bitch, big Irish motherfucker. He want to know, he going to ask the bitch, why you ain't left? Share the stream, man. I don't know what's happening. How our numbers going down and not up. This is insane. And that's what be crazy, bro. How I got like damn near 4,500 subscribers and it'd be like 20 people. Goddamn, it say 25 on this motherfucker. Like, what's 10%? 400? You know what I'm saying? Like, is they not showing this shit to people? Like, this shit weird, bro. This shit weird, bro. She could have put up a fight. I asked her why she did not get out of the house, which was one of the worst in Chicago. Her answer was, "Get out. I can't. They make us buy the cheapest rags and they are charged against us fabulous prices. They make us change outfits at intervals of 2 or 3 weeks until we are so deeply in debt that there is no hope, of getting out. Getting out from under." Did it say out? Yeah. Getting out from under. We've simply got to stick, and that's all there is to it. There are other reasons, strange as it may seem. Many instances occur in which girls so situated come to feel an affection for these men. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the one right here. Here's the dream killer. Pimps up, hoes down. Tonight's topic. I'm gonna give y'all a minute to share the stream, man, because I don't understand what's up with our numbers, bro. Like, what the fuck going on, man? Tribe.
I'm ready.
How can black people rise up and overcome?
How can they rise up and overcome? Oh, can they overcome?
That is correct.
Respect, but this is business that needs to be taken care of, you know. Yeah. Slap on the back is all fine and dandy. Yeah. But it needs promotion. It needs promotion. It needs, yeah. Speak to me. Are you laughing, biatch? You find it funny? You find it funny? Tom, next caller. You don't like it? Kiss my ass, you don't like it. It's my house.
Made a slave in the dives of this city by a giant Mexican Negro. A pretty 23-year-old white girl who came here from Williamsport 2 years ago, early today, plunged a pair of scissors into the Negro's heart, and he is dying in the hospital. So now we got a giant Mexican Negro. We're just going to let that marinate. Let the giant Mexican Negro, goddamn, who just dying in the hospital. It said, according to the story told by the young woman when she was arraigned, and they brought the bitch up on charges. The stabbing followed her being taunted by the Negro with what he had brought her into before a gathering of Negro men and women, and he telling them that he owned her. So now we got giant Mexican Negroes owning white slaves in the year 1908, my nigga.
Giving you more what you hoping for. You ain't hoping in the Lord, huh? You hoping in vain, material, superficial shit. That's why you can't see me, house niggas.
She's being held without bail to await the results of the Negro's injury. And she going to jail for it. And this bitch getting locked up. You don't stab no goddamn giant Mexican Negro pimp bitch and just think you just gonna run loose out here. Hold on. That reminds me. Let's do a little compare and contrast. What are we talking about? 1908, giant Mexican Negro pimps. What are we talking about here? No wonder they won't let nobody in the goddamn stream or tell nobody we lie. When the goddamn, this nigga putting goddamn giant Mexican Negro pimps on the screen, he fucking up the narrative. This nigga fucking up the whole narrative. I thought they were sicking dogs on us. Spraying you with hoses and shit. Got these goofy ass niggas talking all this African shit.
Bitch ass niggas switch sides, don't hate the riders, hate the game, don't hate the riders, don't hate me, man. Don't hate ass niggas switch sides. Don't you see me switching lanes? Let me buy when you see me ride. Don't you see me switching lanes? Bitch ass niggas switch sides, don't hate the riders, hate the game, don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders, don't hate me, man. Don't hate ass niggas switch sides. Don't you see me switching lanes? This king shit, fuck change, man. Give me gold bars cars and gold crowns. If a pimp's up, these hoes down. Housewives turn porn star. These hoes go too far. I'm guru, this gangsta. St. Louis don't fight fair. Put bullet holes in your paint job. Fake hoes get exposed. Eat bitch niggas like takeout. Hate the game, don't hate the riders. They watch us like a stakeout. Lurking on my Instagram. Is that what all that hate about? You acting like I give a damn. Like I don't know these hoes foul. Okay, I'm reloaded. Who wants a war now? Knock, knock, better open up, or we gon' kick the door down. Pine lines stay soldiered up, nigga, you can ask the whole town. I walk on water like Black Jesus, it's rider season. Let me buy when you see me ride. Don't you see me switching lanes? Bitch ass niggas switch sides, don't hate the riders. Hate the gang, don't hate the riders. Don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders. Don't hate me, man. Don't hate ass niggas switching sides. Don't you see me switching lanes? Let me buy when you see me ride. Don't you see me switching lanes? Bitch ass niggas switching sides, don't hate the riders. Hate the game, don't hate the riders. Don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders. Don't hate me, man. Don't hate ass niggas switching sides. Don't you see me switching lanes? I'm 100 in any lane, like the neurosurgeon get plenty brain. I'm plenty high, you know how we ride. Don't you see me switching lanes? I'm out my mind like insane. It's my time and I'm not playing. I bury the pharaoh in hot sand. Don't they know this God's land? Fire water, they see me ride.
Tom, next caller. You don't like it? You don't like it? Kiss my ass. You don't like it. You don't like it. It's my house. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Your thoughts ain't my thoughts. Bitch, I'm flowing straight from the survival scroll. Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
She was made a slave in the dives of this city by a giant Mexican Negro. Pretty little 23-year-old white girl. Links in the chat, primary sources. Pretty little white 23-year-old girl. She came here from Williamsport 2 years ago. Earlier today, she plunged a pair of scissors into the Negro's heart and is dying in the hospital. He done brought the bitch out, talking about, yeah, you know this, I own this bitch. She couldn't take it no more. She couldn't take it. Don't you see this bitch in bondage? Look at the cover of the book. This bitch in bondage. Just the revised edition. This right here deserves a screenshot. Hold on. I'm gonna let you take a screenshot, man. Let me get this off the screen for you. There you go. We need the whole thing where it said away her injury. Made a slave in the dives of this city by a giant Mexican Negro. Said she being held without bail. They want to see what's going to happen. Well, if this nigga die, bitch, then you finna go to prison. Because that's how shit go. Just because the big Mexican Negro, a giant Mexican Negro is your motherfucking pimp, bitch. Now, y'all got a lot of explaining to do right there. Because you got to tell me what is these books, what is these words doing in a book in 1908? Talking about a goddamn court case. Y'all got some explaining to do. What's a giant Mexican Negro? What is that? That don't go with the narrative, do it, y'all? Put some bows and arrows in the chat. If you know they got their ass caught slipping. But here's where it gets, the tables turn even deeper. Oh, here's a good, almost forgot about these. Let's not forget about the slavery on the Pacific coast. Let's not forget about that. If you're just tuning in, tonight's topic, we're doing a live book review of White Slave Traffic. What did it say it was, y'all? Which edition? I think 6th or some shit. Links in the chat. Tribe. Make sure you hit that share and that like if you just came in. Shadow Band Clan. You already know what it is. Don't Conquer Tribe Live. Where were we? And now, and they talking about these cribs. That's a whole house. Why niggas always be like, man, I'm about to go to the crib. That's a whole house, bro. These motherfuckers so slick. Nigga be like, man, where you going, man? I'm on my way to the crib, bro. That's a whole house. Anyway. In many cities on the Pacific coast, there exists a form of woman slavery which it would seem needs only to be described to give rise to a movement for its destruction. There are erected large and flimsily built houses called cribs, consisting of many small rooms opening into inner passages by means of barred windows and doors, which is kept locked by the manager. So these bitches ain't slaves? The key being given to men as they apply to him. Within these little cells, scantily furnished, are kept young girls, most of them Chinese and Japanese, but some of them European and American. They have little light or air, are rarely allowed to leave their rooms, and the manager receives the money. Are they not slaves? Literally slaves. This is what the white man asking you. The paleface asking you, dumbass niggas. This the paleface asking you, African ass niggas, are these white bitches not slaves? Literally slaves? The nigga, all you had to do is read to page 41, you good large professor ass niggas. And it says, and yet this slavery exists upon American soil and no one voices an effective protest. In 1908, these white bitches is being enslaved? Apparently. With a very intelligent Chinaman, the direct question was asked, are these girls actual prisoners owned and controlled by their keepers? He said that such was practically, now you got the Chinaman with white bitches. He got a whole stable of white bitches. Japanese bitches, Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. He said that, wow, is that where that came from? Dirty knees, Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. They was talking about the goddamn prostitutes. Some of you niggas got dirty knees out here too. Pause. I digress. He said that such was practically the case and that these girls were not allowed to leave their rooms without being escorted by older people whose attendance would ensure their return. Reporting a case of a disputed ownership of a Chinese girl claimed by two men. Now here goes some snitching right here. Check this one out, Shy Alpha. It say one of whom resided in Sacramento and the other in Oakland. The Oakland Inquirer of February 20, 1907 informed its reader that this girl's possession was one of the points in dispute between two tongs. What are two tongs? Oh, you didn't know? They're secret societies. What? The fuck is this nigga just say? The Oakland Inquirer of February 1907 informed its readers. They fighting over this bitch in the paper. The goddamn Freemasons. No, nigga, I bought the goddamn Chinese bitch. No, our lodge bought the Chinese bitch. This girl's possession was one of the points in dispute between two tongs. What the fuck? Secret, man. Hey, look, bro. I seen that shit. I say, nah, bro. What the fuck is this nigga talking about? It say, and it was this that was settled at yesterday's conference. This article was headed, Warring Tongs. Warring Tongs hold a conference and it is agreed Chinese maiden is to be returned or equivalent in cash. Either you give me the goddamn bitch back, send the bitch back to our lodge, or goddamn give us our money. And niggas would be like, oh man, that's just a book. I knew they would say that type of shit, y'all. So you know your dog. Nah. We went and got the newspaper, the Prmary Source. Fuck you niggas talking about. February 22nd, 1907, page 4, image 4. Fuck, nigga. The San Francisco Call. The fuck is they talking about, y'all? Hold on. Fuck you doing? Nigga, this Hawk school, nigga. Hawks don't fly with pigeons. Let's get to it then. Let's see what the fuck do you see. Because I wanted to know, well, shit, the secret societies, because he done bleeped it out with his Freemason ass, good book writing shit. So I'm looking at this paper, and look, I find some crazy shit in this paper. I find some crazy shit that I got to make a whole nother video and investigate. You know what I'm saying? And now look at the motherfucking heading. Yeah, nigga, primary source. Ooh, nigga. The fuck you talking about? Tatted up scientist, tribe. Fuck we doing over here? Tribe. Hawks don't fly with pigeons. Subscribe to the Unconquered Tribe. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on, man. I'll give you nigga good primary sources. What is y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing over here, tribe? Shout out to everybody support the channel, man. Y'all see I'm working. Goddamn me, I'm like one of these goddamn scallywag bitches. I'm over here putting that work in. You know what I'm talking about? Recovers effective rescue slave girl. Miss Cameron secures the goods of pretty little Bo June. Little Bo June. You nigga goddamn Bo June got that goddamn scalp, boy. These niggas going crazy about this bitch. You better send that bitch back to the lodge. Oh, man. Now, what y'all think they were fighting over that bitch for? Because she make good goddamn stir fry? Yeah, all right. Miss Donaldina Cameron of the Chinese Presbyterian Mission recovered by search warrant proceedings in the police court today personal effects of Bo June. Now, I thought the nigga say it was two secret societies fighting over this bitch, y'all. How the Chinese Presbyterian Mission come into this? He just gonna bleep it out, but we'll get back to it. Miss Donaldina Cameron of the Chinese Presbyterian Mission. Now, Miss Donaldina Cameron, I know this bitch ain't from goddamn China. Of the Chinese Presbyterian Mission recovered by search warrant proceedings in the police court today personal effects of Bo June, a pretty Chinese slave girl. This bitch a slave in 1908, y'all. Who was rescued from a den who was rescued from a den at 277 2nd Street. We got to look that up, y'all. 277 2nd Street. Let's write that down. I bet that I'm going to tell you about these motherfucking Brotherhood motherfuckers. They still own it. 277 2nd Street. They still own it. And when we go there on the Google Maps, it's going to be some goddamn Freemason shit. Hold on. So, that's Oakland. Said Oakland. I guarantee it. Wait for it. I ain't never looked. I just thought to write that down. That's how the Holy Spirit do me. You know what I'm saying? It says you was rescued from a den. Rescued. Go rescue Bo June. They goddamn running trains all on her at the goddamn lodge. Can y'all go get Bo June clothes? She don't want to go down there. She traumatized. The goddamn motherfucking Mennonites been goddamn. Shit low key ain't funny. High key. The girl was taken to the mission at 477 East 11th Street, but the den keeper had refused to surrender the girl's garments. So they done dropped her off at 477 at the wrong goddamn lodge instead of 277, and they like, nah, we keeping this bitch. They had to go get a court order to get this bitch back. Now, you know they done had the bitch in there. How they got all her clothes? They say they refused to surrender the girl's garments. Don't take motherfucking rocket scientists to figure that why they got this bitch clothes. Bo June was bought for $1,800 in China. Now, I ain't gonna lie, that bitch is fire. $1,800 in 1908? Hold on, we gotta see. We gotta see what was that, 1,800 in 1908. Because we was just looking at property and shit that was $100 for the property. Let's ask the bots. Sophia, are you there? Officialdata.org for you scholarly motherfuckers. Let's see what we got. God damn, all these old nerdy ass charts and shit. Sheesh. God damn, Sophia, you couldn't have did us better than that, bitch. It's an archetype. Chill out. $1 and 1,800. Not 1,800, motherfucker. Value of $1,800 in 1908, bitch. Somebody who's smarter than the bots? Who could beat the bots over here? They give me all this old other shit. Value of 18. I don't want to do no goddamn inflation rate calculator and all this old shit, man. Just show me the numbers. Okay, here we go. Here, 1905 is cool enough, right? Look at this shit, y'all. This bitch is... Who the fuck is this bitch? Now, we got to find out who Bo June is, my nigga. This bitch worth $59,135 today. That's a that nigga done bought this bitch for 60 bands. Bo June ain't no cheap bitch, dog. They done probably bought some emperor daughter or some shit, bro. It's like we done found another motherfucking rabbit hole. Who the fuck is Bo June? $1,800, 1905 worth $60,000, man. Bo June was bought for $1,800 in China and was shipped as a slave to this city. Instructions from Chief of Police Wilson are that any woman detained in a Chinese quarter against her will shall be given full opportunity to depart. Miss Cameron has the active cooperation of the department in her work, which she carried on in the Chinatown across the bay for many years. They probably the main motherfuckers doing it. The fire caused her to transfer her headquarters to the side of the bay. The fire. See, there go another sign right there. Celtic Indian. The fire. Because see, when they say shit like the fire, the earthquake, like that's some shit that everybody know about. The fire, that's everybody know about that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I found in here since we're here? Because, of course, you know me, man. I'm hawking, nigga, so I read all this shit. I read every motherfucking thing. San Francisco call. Friday, February 2nd, 1907. You know what I'm saying? Look, they call the natives, the married natives, these white people. native sons. See, that's at that time that was a known term. You know what I'm saying? They knew native was a motherfucker that was from out the country. I see that name, that Morgan. That's the motherfuckers. Well, that's a whole nother bill, but I done stumbled across some crazy shit, connected some crazy dots, because that Morgan shit is that shit we seen with that witch. That's related to the horse. You know what I'm saying? The horses and shit, the horsemen. But that's Norse mythology. So now that we got that right here, we're going to connect a few other dots while we're here. So that's Norse mythology. This name is Morgan, but it's spelled with an I instead of an A when you're dealing with the witch. That's the witch bitch that the nigga told us to go read. Hold on. In case y'all lost. Stay with me now. But see, I'm like, damn, that's some old Norse mythology, some old Viking ass Icelandic shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what? Because I'm seeing they on the horse shit, like the Comanches. But I'm like, that's some old Icelandic ass shit. And then I'm like, well, how did some Vikings got something to do with the goddamn Mormons, to do with the Comanches? You know what I'm saying? Like, how that shit connect? Stay with me. We going off a topic. This a whole nother video, but fuck it. We here now. What's my time looking like? Oh, we only an hour. Fuck it. We're gonna make it quick. Then we'll do a deep dive. Let's connect these dots real quick. This a whole separate video in the video. You know what I'm talking about? Because you already know what we doing over here at Hawk School.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Your thoughts ain't my thoughts. Bitch, I'm flowing straight from the survival scroll. Cut that bitch off. Giving you more of what you hoping for. You ain't hoping in the Lord, huh? You hoping in vain, material, superficial shit. That's why you can't see me, house niggas.
Tribe, if you just tuned in, man, make sure you share the stream. Tonight's topic is white slave traffic. Who knew? We're doing a live review of a book, White Slave Traffic. If you haven't tuned in, it's been very telling. You can catch up later. But you just caught we're gonna do a whole nother goddamn, what's the shit called? What they call it? I don't want to say episode, because it ain't that. But all of this shit correlate when you fucking with me, man. For sure. So now, the Morgan shit. We just saw that Alyssa motherfuckers at the Native Son shit, right? These the motherfuckers at the lodge meeting. Because, see, back then, the newspaper was different. You know what I'm saying? Photos was different and all that shit. It was different. It had a different purpose. They was showing up. They was trying to update their status. See, and this came from this. This how I even found out. How we found out? Oh, we found out about, because this bitch is what's it called? A powwower. A known powwower. And that's how we found out powwow's fake. You know what I'm saying? All this shit connect. But the Most High had me on the path. So you could remember what your homeboy told us? Remember what he told us now. Pay attention.
Book right here is just one of her books. It's called To Light a Sacred Flame. And even though it's going over various conjure techniques, and I love this lady. Okay, then another good book, once you start understanding the spells, and I love this lady. Okay, then another good book, once you start understanding the spells, and I love this lady, Silver Raven Wolf. Okay, then another good Silver Raven Wolf. You start understanding the spells, and I love
Niggas telling me say something. Don't repeat the video. But all I would say is he loved this lady. That's all. I can't. There's nothing for me to say. There's no room for me to say anything here.
The movement of the energy between lucky. That's why you study people in biographies. Silver Ravenwolf. Now, okay, then another good book, once you start understanding the spells, and I love this lady, Silver Ravenwolf. Now, Silver Ravenwolf, this is going over various conjure techniques. It's going over various conjure techniques.
Stay with me. Stay with me now. Conjurer, enchanter, magician. From Anglo-French conjurer, Old French conjurer, conjurer, magician, exorcist. I digress.
This book has a very autobiographies and biographies of people. Unlucky. That's all it's saying. Okay, then another good book, once you start understanding the spells, and I love this lady, Silver Ravenwolf. Now, Silver Ravenwolf, this book right here is just one of her books. It's called To Light a Sacred Flame. And even though it's going over various conjure techniques, this book has a very powerful effect on the divine feminine aspect of the individual, male or female, and it's helping. That's why when you look at it, you see that woman becomes the phoenix.
Oh, you might not be able to read it. It says practical witchcraft for the millennium, and I'm sure you have some caping to do, so cape on, and I'll continue the build.
That's telling you something. Her name is, and that symbols are not on this, telling you something of the individual, male or female. These books like this don't put the symbol on the cover haphazardly. It's a reason on the cover haphazardly, but it means something. I won't tell you what her name means because it might be a violation of her privacy. Telling you something. Her name is the Raven Wolf. Telling you something. And then it'll go into it. It's telling you about the movement of the energy between lucky. You start understanding the spells. You start understanding the spells. And I love this lady, Silver Ravenwolf. Now, Silver Ravenwolf, this book right here is just one of her books. It's called To Light a Sacred Flame. And even though it's going over various conjure techniques, this book has a very powerful effect on the divine.
Yeah, it's got a powerful effect, my nigga. Stay with me. I know how I'm gonna do it. All right, this bitch Freemason to the core. Witch to the core. This bitch got the goddamn earrings. This bitch got the goddamn... She got all the bezels. You find this bitch on Absolute Horror Wiki. This bitch. I love this lady. See, so she's a powwower. And we discovered her previously. Go back. I ain't got nothing on this bitch either. So I know she with the shit. And it's all gonna make sense. Trust me. Cause you know they into that sacrificing motherfuckers, all that type of shit. I don't want me to see nothing about this bitch. It's all gonna correlate. Because we just saw the name in the paper. They can rewind it. We ain't gonna make the video long. They don't even want to show you nothing about this bitch. Born Janine E. Trayer. That's her real name. Leading American New Age magic and witchcraft author who focuses on Wicca. Ravenwolf was a member of the Serpent Stone family. Received her third-degree initiation as a member of that coven. She is the leader of the Black Forest Circle and Seminary, an organization containing several covens spanning the United States and Canada. She has appeared as a lecturer and workshop facilitator at events in the neo-pagan community. She's been active in Wiccan anti-discrimination issues. She is also a powwower, having adopted Pennsylvania Dutch practice in a neo-pagan context. So this is what all this conjuring shit is about. And like I say, this is a whole nother build. I don't want to get too far left with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Pimps up, hoes down. But I did notice something. I'm gonna have to play this other video and let's see if I can't get this link from upstairs. Just keep all this in your mind. Just for an hour, that's all. So I can put it all together for you. It's all gonna come together. Oh, this is gonna fuck you up. It said an investigator sent into the cities of California by the National Vigilance Committee in January 1908 found the crib system in operation in San Francisco. The crib system, remember, they had the crib. All them bitches at the crib. And guess what? It's in operation in San Francisco, and since the earthquake is what is called the Barbary Coast. Huh? Let's zoom in. What these niggas reading about? Do they even know what they reading about when they reading this shit? An investigator sent into the cities of California by the National Vigilance Committee in January 1908 found the crib system in operation in San Francisco since the earthquake in what is called the Barbary Coast. Okay? He's probably got down a whole bunch of niggas over there. Some giant Mexican Negroes. Pimping bitches off the Barbary Coast, San Francisco. since the earthquake. You notice, like I was telling you, with the fire. So it was an earthquake, it was a fire. So it was all types of shit going on in the world for niggas, buildings and shit to end up vacant and shit before motherfuckers started these renovating. It says he reported that there were in that district houses built for immoral purposes containing from 25 to 160 girls in each house, bro. 25 to 160 of these bitches in each house. Some of the houses occupy from 1/4 to a half a block. Most of the girls in them were of foreign parentage. They ain't Mexican Negroes. And our agent learned upon reliable authority that a well-organized system was in operation. They got their snitches too. But see how they do it with the brotherhood is somebody takes the fall. You know what I'm saying? So everybody doesn't have to take the fall. This is the Paris, headquarters of the notorious Maurice Van Bever gang. Girls procured in St. Louis by the Chicago St. Louis gang were brought up to this place where they were made white slaves. Van Bever was arrested and the gang broken up. He was convicted in 1909, but carried the case to the Illinois Supreme Court and did not finally go to prison until February 1911. So this the house. Look at these boys standing out here with these black trench coats on. These motherfucking top hats. We already saw in the last video that they goddamn dropping the goddamn orphan train motherfuckers off right at the lodge. Now we got the motherfuckers fighting over a Chinese bitch they done paid damn near $60,000 in today's money for. Fighting over the bitch. Our agent learned upon reliable authority that a well-organized system was in operation by which any desired number of girls might be procured here or abroad on short notice. Many slave pens for women who have been built in the reconstructed Chinatown. And this is another book we got to find, Heathens and Slaves and Christian Rulers. Because they citing it. So the money for these, it is said, has been furnished by some of the Christian businessmen of San Francisco. Wait a minute, what? It said what? Many slave pens for women have been built in the reconstructed Chinatown, and much of the money for these, it is said, has been furnished by some of the Christian businessmen, goddamn, chill out, computer, of San Francisco. Bing. The white slave trade in America, tonight's topic. You thought I got off topic with the witch? No, just pay attention. While a few of the citizens of San Francisco are aware of this infamy, the majority of the people of that city seem to have no realization of the depth of inequity that this crib system of slavery presents. You got all these bitches at the crib, you selling all this pussy at the crib. Big, giant African Negroes, 23-year-old, little, young, pretty white girls. This is per Prmary Source. If you're watching this and we're not live anymore, you know, we're gonna put it in the chat again. You say Chinatown, Mingo voice. Hey man, ain't nothing new under the sun. Similar conditions have been found in Oakland, where the authorities seem to regard the crib slavery of young girls as part of the legitimate business of the city. So this regular business. Having these white bitches in bondage is regular business. Look, Los Angeles destroyed its cribs by means of a crusade of its citizens in 1904. So some nigga went in there caping with a whole gang of goddamn motherfucking tricks. For break these bitches out. Break all these bitches out. Put some bows and arrows in the chat if you didn't know Christian businessmen was goddamn running pussy through Chinatown in 1908.
Giving you more of what you hoping for. You ain't hoping in the Lord, huh? You hoping in vain, material, superficial shit. That's why you can't see me, house niggas. Tom, next caller. You don't like it? Kiss my ass, you don't like it. It's my house.
Bro, that's all that.
My mic must have been muted. But we was riding around and getting it. While everybody else was getting grabbed up and turned into slaves at the crib, goddamn selling pussy. We was riding around and getting it. That's been established. True or false? Aren't photographs primary sources? I don't know. I could be wrong. Put it in the chat. Nice topic. Pimps up, hoes down. White slave traffic. And more.
Not the scam, wild child nigga Taliban, got a wild style like a spray can. Niggas fake like spray tan, bitches shady like Ray-Bans. I'm unpersuaded, I can't be faded, I'm underrated, I gotta shine. Fuck the clock, boy, fuck your watch. Ride or die, nigga, now it's time. Let me by when you see me ride. You see me switch lanes. Bitch ass niggas switch sides, don't hate the riders. Hate the game, don't hate the riders. Don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders. Don't hate me, man. Don't hate ass niggas switch sides. Don't you see me switching lanes? Let me by when you see me ride. Don't you see me switching lanes? Bitch ass niggas switch sides, don't hate the riders. Hate the game, don't hate the riders. Don't hate the riders, don't hate the riders. Don't hate me, man. Don't hate ass niggas switch sides. Don't you see me switching lanes?
Isn't it obvious? Well, that is obvious, but we don't know if it's obvious that God is white. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Jesus did not have blonde hair and blue eyes. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the images of Jesus that are on prison walls and churches throughout the world are not historically correct, because history teaches us that Jesus was born in a region where the people had color. There's proof in the very Bible that you asked us to read in Revelation 1st chapter, verse 14 and 15, that Jesus had hair like wool and feet.
They charged Jesus with sedition. Didn't they do that? They said he was against Caesar. They said he was discriminating because he told his disciples, go not the way of the Gentiles, but rather go to the lost sheep. He discriminated. Don't go near the Gentiles. Go to the lost sheep. Go to the oppressed.
That's right. That's
Tribe. If you're just not tuning in, man, make sure you hit the like, subscribe. If you're new, you know what I'm talking about. Share the stream. Tonight's topic is white traffic. Who knew? Where were we? Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Enough about these dirty ass cribs and all these hoes. Let's fast forward a bit. Excuse me. I need something to drink, man. Yeah. It's a great drink, nigga. Okay, here they are talking about this Tong shit again, referring to these secret societies. Now we can use context clues. Says she first escaped, this is after her arrival in San Francisco, just so you know, you don't get lost, was what brought about her rescue. It says she first escaped from her prison on Ma Fong Alley and took refuge with Chinese in a lodging house on DuPont Street. Thither, her owner traced her and demanded that she return. Fu Qi refused to go. Her owner dared not use force as those who harbored the girl were members of an opposing highbander Tong. So we already know from previous how we found the newspaper article that when they said the Tong, that this bitch is in, they talking about a lodge, a secret society. Now, let me show you how deep this shit go. Because you wonder, this nigga talking about witches and all this shit. Bro, it all go together. It always goes together. You must not be subscribed if you don't know that, goddamn, we hawking over here. The fuck? Where my dope, man? And by dope, I mean medicine, motherfuckers. Rescue slave girl. Who is that? What's her name again? Bo June. Bo June with the good pussy. Fuck you talking about 60,000. We still got to go look it up. Let's look it up. 277 2nd Street, y'all. Let's see. I don't be forgetting the shit I be saying, dog. Let's see. Where is that? Oakland, California, right? I bet it's a lodge right now, nigga. Let's see. They ain't give it up. Oh damn, I'm already rolled up. Man, boy, I good, boy. He like chill your motherfucking strong ass out, boy. Peace to the tribes, man. If you just tuning in, man, share the stream, man. Share the stream. Hit like. Start talking shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't blocking nobody unless they got down on some old weirdo porno shit, you know what I'm saying? Let motherfuckers talk reckless as they want. If you entertain them, that's up to you. I do sometimes, you know, it's give or take. You know, niggas. 277 2nd Street, Oakland, California. Let's see. We want to see it on Google Maps, don't we? Maybe I need to go on motherfucking Google with my extra smart ass. 277. No, 2nd Street is right here. Why are you taking us somewhere else? Why is you taking us to 696? You know this ain't shit. That's not where we want to go. Y'all gonna put us in the middle of the street? 27. How is? Get the fuck out of here. see this whole motherfucker, see what's going on, man. They trying to curveball us. That's how you know it's some fuck shit going on. Oh, yeah, there we go. It just said look up property records. That's what we want. Let's see. Oh, they gonna charge us for that shit. Hell yeah. Let's see. Maybe I need to go to Google. Then I'm gonna have to open up the whole other goddamn Google Chrome shit. They straight trying to curveball the fuck out of us for some reason. Why is they giving us all these other addresses? Sonoma, California, bitch. We didn't ask for nothing that had to do with no Sonoma or none of this other shit. That's computer language right there, that plus sign. That mean just this shit, nothing else. You gotta learn how to talk motherfucking AI, nigga, if you gonna goddamn move into the future. Sometimes you can find shit easier just by going through the photos. You'd be surprised. That's how I done found a lot of shit. You know, you just gotta be a straight goddamn lurker, my nigga. Hawking. This shit taking us off track. We'll find that. I'll put it on the 2nd Street, Oakland. I'll put it on the next stream. If you're from Oakland, maybe you could tell us some more in the future. It's in the warehouse district. It says, it looks like. We'll get to the bottom of it on another day. Let's not digress. Because there's something way more interesting here. This shit right here, dog. And this is, I went on a motherfucker down the rabbit hole. And it's all go together. Trust and believe this all go together. Let me see what the chat talking about, man. Let me see if it's some balls and arrows. If niggas can hear me loud and clear, man. Maybe they can't. I lost the goddamn video. I feel like I need some music or something, man. Okay, niggas can hear me loud and clear. Let me shout some of y'all out, man. Just got in here, man. Shout out to the tribe, man. Peace to the tribes, man. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out Juice. Just got in here, man. Peace to the tribes. Bright Mo Dizzy. Some Baby Tribe. Kiss Kia Murr. The Real Autonomous Defense League. New Wild, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The Mississippi Moral Tribe. Chief Big Fuck You Crackers Tribe. What's happening? Camo Joe and this bitch is up there. Let me talk my shit, man. Check this shit out, though. This shit gonna fuck y'all up. And I had I'm sorry about the little music shit. Maybe it went a little too long, but I had to go find the other video shit. But check this out. Not that goddamn. Come on, man, with all that bullshit. That's cool. Maybe they need to see it. I don't want it to be that goddamn. Because this shit gonna fuck you up, bro. You know, it's Hawk School, man. You know how we do, man. You down the rabbit hole, man, when you come over here, man. So I'm just reading through the paper and just, you know, checking out what's in here. And this motherfucker say Trinity. Now, I can't find nothing from this on no surface-ass Google search, or I would have did it and brought it to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Trinity Home. Check this shit out, bro. Trinity Home for Berkeley and Colony at Mount Diablo. Now, we already know that's the Devil's Mountain. Says Dr. Frazier begins promulgation of new cult. This in the paper, my nigga, 1908. And it ain't no pressure about it being there. Watch this. I got fired up for this shit. Says Dr. S.H. Frazier aroused interest comment in this city today. Y'all wonder what's up with these orphan trains and all this weird shit, and all this shit go together, bro. Watch. Even the shit nigga like Norse mythology in the paper, the witch, what the fuck do all this shit? Bro, watch. Bro, I just walk the walk, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Most High lead me down these motherfucking paths, bro. This shit already been laid out for me before I was a twinkle in my father's eye. Wait till y'all hear about Trinity. Dr. S.H. Frazier aroused interest comment in this city today by the announcement in a magazine which he issued as the organ of Trinity that he was to found in Berkeley a Trinity home, where a new language would be taught to children and where an effort would be made to build a race that would have training, teaching, and experiences different from any that had ever been accorded humanity in the past. He is also to establish a colony of devotees. A new language has been invented by Dr. Frazier, who is a leading practitioner of the college town, a combination of Greek and English characters designed to lessen the difficulties of education and also to help children learn to love the good and true and beautiful rather than the evil in the world. No provision for swear words is made in Dr. Frazier's new language, which he calls Trinity. Such words as love and goodness and kindness and all kindred terms are emphasized in Trinity. The idea is to have a child absorb those words and the things for which the words stand while his education in Trinity is being administered. The colony of Trinity people is to be formed at once. Land for their homes is to be procured at the base of Mount Diablo. Teachers will be sent there and all equipment of an ideal colony, whose members purpose to make of the Trinity cult a serious profitable business. Dr. Frazier says of his Trinity language, from 1/5 to 1/3 of the time in all business writings could be saved by this system, and the same writing will go upon less paper. The readiness with which this is taken up may be illustrated by one single case. A boy 8 years old learned the sounds in less than an hour's time, and in less than 4 hours could read readily anything written in this system. Learn it. So what they got these motherfuckers? Ooh. I have taken the English alphabet and arranged the letters to represent in all words a single sound. The English alphabet is not sufficiently full to represent all the sounds in the English language, there being 34 sounds or elements and only 26 letters to represent them. Pay attention. I have taken a sufficient number of Greek letters and adapted them to sounds to make up the deficiency in this English alphabet. Hence, the Trinity system has a character for every sound and has no other name but that elementary. The capitals, however, take the English and Greek names of the letters. First, learning the alphabet by sounds and daily drilling them on them will beautify the language and strengthen the expression of anyone. Having learned the sounds, then by a little drill on words and sentences, you will have mastered the entire Trinity system. This system was developed through an effort to adapt a method of drill by which a child's speaking tones could be clothed with beauty and its language be made more perfect. I claim for this system perfect quality and correct pronunciations of words. So, that's what they was doing with your people at the Indian schools and shit. You know what I'm talking about? And then fucking Bo June on lunch break. Hey, man, I can't make this shit up. Her owner dared not to use force as those who harbored the girl were members of an opposing Highbander Tong. A meeting of the two Tongs was called to settle the question of the girl's ransom. Let's do the etymology on it real quick, because we do know that they always, back in the day, these motherfuckers wasn't too bright, much like now. Computer, I'm doing too much. Come on, computer. Let's just see. Wow. I land my plane.
Giving you more of what you hoping for. You ain't hoping in the Lord, huh? You hoping in vain, material, superficial shit. That's why you can't see me, house niggas.
So this is what the Christian ministers were paying for? Did you know that word? Master teachers? I think they just left. We scared them away. So apparently a Tong is a Chinese secret society, per primary references. A meeting of the two Tongs was called to settle the question of the girl's ransom. If her new friends would pay the price, she could remain with them. While this meeting was in progress behind barred doors at Tong headquarters, dog. They know niggas stupid. Or they presume. But we ain't, motherfucker. Pimps up, hoes down. Fuck you thought. White slave traffic, who knew? Hey, man. I can't make this shit up, bro. Reading is fundamental. Stay with me now. A messenger carried information to the mission. Quickly, an officer was called, and a rescue party of 3 hastened toward Chinatown, up 2 flights of stairs to the top floor where a strongly bolted door barred the way. Ah Ching, the little mission interpreter, spoke a few Chinese words. Unsuspectingly, the old doorkeeper slid back the bolts. In an instant, the rescue party had forced their way past the amazed guard and down a long passageway. From the further end could be heard the distressed cries of a girl's voice pleading her own lost cause. A door stood slightly ajar. We sprang towards it. Where did the we come? Well, the nigga just came with we out the blue, didn't he? Nigga just snitched on himself. But the excited cries of warning from the man at the door reached the inner guard as our hands touched it at the grate swung shut and the bolts dropped into place. All was quiet for a few moments. Then we who vainly knocked and demanded admission could faintly discern the sounds of something being dragged across the room. Furniture was moved, then the crashing of glass, then indistinguishable muffled sounds. Oh, the intense anxiety of those moments. The bitterness of defeat. Give me my bitch. Next, hurried footsteps on the roof over our heads. Oh, they out. They goddamn on they Chinaman shit. Let me get a tribe. If they on they China, they on the roof with her. Dragging this bitch out on what? This some goddamn motherfucking what's that shit called? With the nigga Jackie Chan ass shit. Straight up. Once more, a club was brought to bear on the stubborn door. At length, a tardy response came. Slowly, the bolts were withdrawn, and we entered through a passage into the meeting place of the Bing Gung Tong. The fuck is a Bing Gung? Let's see if it's in there, bro. I told you they think we won't look this kind of shit up. Tong was in there, nigga. Shit, why not roll the dice? Bing. Heap, a pile, word for bin, perhaps the notion of a place where things are piled up. So he balling. That's what I take from it. Bing Gong. Gung Tong. These ain't even no motherfucking Chinese motherfucking words. We know what goon is. Simpleton. 1580s, nigga. That's what it really mean. Fuck all the other shit. 1920, nigga. Big ass goof. Some 25 or 30 men of the rival Tongs, Chinese secret societies, filled the room. An imperturbable calm pervaded the gathering. There was absolutely nothing to suggest the scene which we knew had just been enacted. Yeah, niggas nutted up. That's what he said. Everybody was like, where's the slave girl? So they goddamn, it looked like the goddamn, I'm starting to wonder if the Chinese secret society niggas was trying to gank the motherfucking, the white boys, the Christian minister ass niggas who was paying for all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this was, I mean, you could have read the book in the goddamn time that we right here, but you wouldn't have learned as much. Hey, look, the white boys done nutted up. They politely suggested that we had come to the wrong place to seek slave girls. So they done nutted up. Whole goddamn, they seen 30 goddamn big ass Chinamen. They say you can have a bitch. They was already scared to go get her. You thought I forgot we read that? But I want to go down. Let's see, because when it comes to these people, you know, everybody being brought up on charges, they talking about all these little situations, niggas snitching, you know what I'm saying? We're going to fast forward. Do it this way. Now, this is what connects some dots for us. It says, in view of the dangers which menace the public health and interests of the family and society from venereal disease, it is time to break down these barriers of concealment and silence. Because, see, they was getting motherfuckers sick. Motherfuckers' wives and kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? All these niggas buying pussy and shit from goddamn China and shit. Ain't no telling what the fuck going on. Now they all on the motherfucking, you got the goddamn LDS motherfucker. He done got him a Chinese bitch. He done kidnapped the motherfucking Indian kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? Stole their names. Like, this shit's so deep. But watch how it all connects. It is time to break down these barriers of concealment and silence behind which these diseases propagate and flourish, to dissipate the dense ignorance of the public by turning on the purifying light of... Oh, my God. Come on, bro. That's not it. The New York White Slave Grand Jury. On the 3rd of January, 1910, the Honorable Thomas C. O'Sullivan, Judge of the Court of General Sessions in and for the City and County of New York, charged an additional grand jury for the January term with the duty of inquiring into an existence of an organized traffic in women. There were two features connected with this investigation, which at once attracted and held the close attention of the public. One was that the fact that an article in McClure's magazine for November 1909, written by George Kibb Tumber, entitled "The Daughters of the Poor," scallywags, dealing with the white slave traffic in New York City. And also an article which appeared in the New York Evening Post just before election, were believed by many to have had influence in determining the election. The other feature, what's the other feature, y'all? Of course. The other feature was that Mr. John D. Rockefeller Jr. was selected as the foreman of the grand jury. Okay? So now later in the book, they're only going to refer to these motherfuckers as Rockefeller's jury. Why, Hawk School? You all over the place, Hawk School. This nigga says Sushi Gate. Tribe, man. This nigga hilarious for that shit. Check this out, though. Let's see.
Mere control over the world's monetary system was enough. Potential competition from upstart producer nations under their control, all in one step, all in tights of these and predatory pricing had been enough to assure the oligarchs' monopoly. And predatory tights and predators. In the 19th century, railroad conspiracies and predatory pricing had been enough to assure the oligarchs' monopoly. But by the time that the British Crown, the Dutch royal family, the Rothschilds, and the other European oligarchs began opening up the Middle East and the Far East to oil exploration in the early 20th century, the goal was no longer to maximize profits or control the oil industry. It was not even to control international diplomacy. It was to control and shape the world itself, its resources, its environment, and its people. International diplomacy. It was to control and shape the world itself, its resources, its environment, and its people. In order to achieve this goal, the oligarchy would need a facelift. In the current age, with the Rockefeller name now more likely to be associated with Rockefeller Plaza or Rockefeller University than Standard Oil, it is difficult to understand just how hated John D. was in his own day. He was the head of the Standard Oil Hydra, an octopus strangling the world in his tentacles, a cutthroat gardener pruning the competitors from the flower of his oil monopoly. As one of the richest men the world had ever known, he was an easy target for the average working man's frustration and a magnet for the poor seeking help.
He received on average 50 to 60,000 letters a month asking for help. Dozens of people followed him in the street. Literally, crowds stood around the Standard Oil offices, waiting for him to come out. Little children, painfully thin, crying in the street and so on. Rockefeller felt overwhelmed.
Besieged by the downtrodden, despised by the working man, hounded by Ida Tarbell and the muck.
They caping for this motherfucker. Let's get to it. Stop caping for this clamping.
Muckrakers had used to disgrace Rockefeller to turn him into a sympathetic figure. Ivy Lee recognized early the power of the new moving picture and used newsreels to show a remarkably benevolent Rockefeller.
I am very grateful to you and to a host of people who are so kind and good to me all.
Thank you, sir.
Transformed Rockefeller into a public hero. Creation of public institutions him to do in all his business dealing. To win the public over, he was going to have to give them what they wanted. And what they wanted wasn't difficult to understand. Money. But just as his father, Devil Bill, had taught him to do in all his business dealings, Rockefeller made sure to get the better end of the bargain. He would donate his great wealth to the creation of public institutions, but those institutions would be used to bend society to his will. Creation of public institutions, but those institutions would be used to bend society to his will. Creation of public institutions, but those institutions would be used to bend society to his will. As every would-be ruler throughout history has realized, society has to be transformed from the ground up. Americans in the 19th century still prized education and intellectual pursuits, with the 1840 census finding unsurprisingly that the United States, a nation that had been mobilized by tracts like Thomas Paine's remarkably popular Common Sense, was a nation of readers with a remarkable 93% to 100% literacy rate. Before the first % literacy, unsurprisingly that the United States, a nation that had been mobilized by tracts like Thomas Paine's remarkably popular Common Sense, was a nation of readers with a remarkable 93% to 100% literacy rate.
Put some bows and arrows in the chat. These motherfuckers told you niggas didn't know how to read. 93%. That shit better than the rates right now. I'm not even going to waste our time looking up the motherfucking literacy rates currently, but those are better.
Before schooling laws in Massachusetts in 1852, education was private and decentralized. Percent literacy rate. It was a nation of readers with a remarkable 93% to 100% literacy rate. Education and intellectual pursuits, with the 1840 census finding unsurprising.
The 1840 census, nigga. That's before the Civil War. Everybody can fucking read.
You ain't hoping in the Lord, you bang material shit. That's why you can't see me. House niggas.
That the United States, a nation that had been mobilized by tracts like Thomas Paine's remarkably popular Common Sense, was a nation of readers with a remarkable 93% to 100% literacy rate. Before the first compulsory schooling laws in Massachusetts in 1852, education was private and decentralized, and as a nation percent was anathema to centralized, and as a result, a nation of readers with a remarkable 93% to 100% literacy rate. Before the first compulsory schooling laws in Massachusetts in 1852, education was private and decentralized, and as a result, classical education, including study. Greek and Latin, and a solid grounding in percent literacy rate. Before the first compulsory schooling laws in Massachusetts in 1852, education was private and decentralized, and as a result, classical education, including study of Greek and Latin and a solid grounding in history and science, was widespread. But a nation of individuals who could think for themselves was anathema to the monopolists. The oligarchs needed a mass of obedient workers, an entire class of people whose intellect was developed just enough to prepare them for lives of drudgery in a factory. It was anathema to the monopolists. The Greek and Latin and a solid Greek and Latin, being unsurprisingly that the United States, a nation that had been mobilization of public institutions, to win the public over, he was going to have to give them what they wanted. And what they wanted wasn't difficult to understand. Money. But just as his father, Devil Bill, had taught him to do in all his business dealings, Rockefeller made sure to get the better end of the bargain. He would donate his great wealth to the creation of public institutions, but those institutions would be used to bend society to his will. As every would-be ruler throughout history has realized, society has to be transformed from the ground up. Americans in the 19th century still prized education and intellectual pursuits, with the 1840 census finding unsurprisingly that the United States, a nation that had been mobilized by tracts like Thomas Paine's remarkably popular Common Sense, was a nation of readers with a remarkable 93% to 100% literacy rate. Before the first compulsory schooling laws in Massachusetts in 1852, education was private and decentralized, and as a result, classical education, including study of Greek and Latin and a solid grounding in history and science, was widespread. But a nation of...
Now I can't stop asking, why the fuck was these niggas jumping around these teepees doing all this screaming and shit when, nigga, we over here learning Greek, Latin, and some more shit? Like, what the fuck is y'all over there doing on that Boy Scout shit? Yeah, I'ma run it back, nigga.
Difficult to understand. Money. But just as his father, Devil Bill, had taught him to do in all his business dealings, Rockefeller made sure to get the better end of the bargain. He would donate his great wealth to the creation of public institutions, but those institutions would be used to bend society to his will. As every would-be ruler throughout history has realized, society has to be transformed from the ground up. Americans in the 19th century still prized education and intellectual pursuits, with the 1840 census finding unsurprisingly that the United States, a nation that had been mobilized by tracks like Thomas Paine's remarkably popular Common Sense, was a nation of readers with a remarkable 93% to 100% literacy rate. Before the first compulsory schooling laws in Massachusetts in 1852, education was private and decentralized, and as a result, classical education, including study of Greek and Latin and a solid grounding in history and science, was widespread. But a nation of individuals who could think for themselves was anathema to the monopolists. The oligarchs needed a mass of obedient workers.
You see these space invaders? I ain't even gonna say it.
An entire class of people whose intellect was developed just enough to prepare them for lives of drudgery in a factory. Into the midst stepped John D. Rockefeller with his first great act of public charity, the establishment of the University of Chicago. He was aided in this task by Frederick Taylor Gates. Into the midst stepped John D. Rockefeller with his first great act of public charity, the establishment of the University of Chicago. He was aided in this task by Frederick Taylor Gates, a Baptist minister that Rockefeller befriended in 1889 and who would go on to be John D.'s most trusted philanthropic advisor. Gates would go on to write a short tract, The Country School of Tomorrow, that laid out the Rockefeller plan for education. In our dream, we have limitless resources, and the people yield themselves with perfect docility to our molding hand. The present educational conventions fade from our minds, and, unhampered by tradition, we work our own goodwill upon a grateful and responsive folk. We shall not try to make these people or any of their children into philosophers, or men of learning or science. We are not to raise up from among them authors, orators, poets, or men of letters. We shall not search for embryo great artists, painters, musicians, nor will we cherish even the humbler ambition to raise up from among them lawyers, doctors, preachers, politicians, statesmen, of whom we now have ample supply. And the people...
How I don't have to rewind that, bro. Like, niggas that don't hear this shit, y'all ain't getting this shit. Y'all not hearing this shit, bro. Y'all letting these motherfuckers trick you. That's why I say all these niggas with all this old weirdo shit, man, these niggas is some hoes, bro.
People yield themselves with...
This how they talking amongst theyself. This shit common knowledge like a motherfucker. That's why they looking at niggas like... Blacks.
I'm ready.
How can black people rise up and overcome?
How can they rise up and overcome? Oh, can they overcome?
That is correct.
Respect, but this is business that needs to be taken care of, you know. Slap on the back is all fine and dandy. Yeah. But it needs promotion. It needs promotion. It needs, yeah. Big to me. Are you laughing, biatch? You find it funny? You find it funny?
We are not to raise up from among them authors, orators, poets, or men of letters. We shall not search for embryo great artists, painters, musicians, nor will we cherish even the humbler ambition to raise up from among them lawyers, doctors, preachers, politicians, statesmen, of whom we now have ample supply. Although Rockefeller's resources weren't exactly limitless, they might as well have been. In 1902, he established the General Education Board to help implement Gates's vision for the Country School of Tomorrow, with a staggering $180 million endowment.
All that money they done stole. It's that oil money off our land. Made a nigga move from Georgia to Oklahoma and then got down stole the money. Look, $180 million, set up the whole school system, nigga. We was learning this shit at the house. We was doing homeschooling. Niggas learning Greek, Latin, and some more shit. Oh, but they was in the paper in 1908 inventing languages for niggas.
Rockefeller influence on education was felt almost immediately, and it was amplified by help from fellow monopolists of the era who were approaching the topic of philanthropy from the same angle. Although best known as a steel magnate, Andrew Carnegie's fortune started on the railroads transporting Rockefeller's Standard Oil around the country, and was greatly magnified by
I just got to see something, man. They lie so much. I just want to see how crazy this really is. $180 million, bruh. Shit, according to the bots, a nigga could goddamn fly to the moon for goddamn $250,000. Tonight's topic: white slave traffic. Who knew?
fellow monopolists of the era who were approaching the topic of philanthropy from the same angle. Although best known as a steel magnate, Andrew Carnegie's fortune started on the railroads transporting Rockefeller's Standard Oil around the country, and was greatly magnified by a lucrative investment in property near Oil Creek that provided steady, profitable oil sales. You're not to raise up from among them authors, orators, poets, or men of letters. You're not to raise up from among them authors, orators, poets, or men of letters. We shall not search for embryo great artists, painters, musicians, nor will we cherish even the humbler ambition to raise up from among them lawyers, doctors. You're not to raise up from among them authors, orators, poets, or men of letters. We shall not search for embryo great artists, painters, musicians, nor will we cherish even the humbler ambition to raise up from among them lawyers, doctors, preachers, politicians, statesmen, of whom we now have ample supply.
The country school of tomorrow. We unraveling they motherfucking web. What my mom used to say when we was young? When she catch a motherfucker lying, or when she know we lying to a motherfucker, she be like, oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive.
Although Rockefeller's resources weren't exactly limitless, they might as well have been. In 1902, he established the General Education Board to help implement Gates's vision for the country school of tomorrow with a staggering $180 million endowment. The Rockefeller influence on education was felt almost immediately, and it was amplified by help from fellow monopolists of the era who were approaching the topic of philanthropy from the same angle. Although best known as a steel...
So now they done put their money together. He put up $180 million. You hear him? Y'all be like, why you keep rewinding? Nigga, you didn't even hear him say that he had some other motherfuckers come with him that got the same plan. So what you gonna bring to the table with a nigga got $180 million on it, nigga? What you got on it, nigga, to even sit at the table? Ask yourself that, Goofy. That's why you go get your degrees, nigga.
Magnate Andrew Carnegie's fortune started on the railroads transporting Rockefeller's Standard Oil around the country, and was greatly magnified by a lucrative investment in property near Oil Creek that provided steady, profitable oil sales. In 1905, he established the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching, a tax-free foundation through which Carnegie and his appointees could direct the development of the education system in the United States and, eventually, worldwide. In 1910, Rockefeller followed suit by establishing the Rockefeller Foundation, which became the tax-free umbrella organization for his philanthropic ambitions. As the Reese Committee, a congressional investigation into the activities of these tax-free foundations in the 1950s, discovered, it wasn't long before Carnegie's endowment approached Rockefeller's foundation with a proposal to cooperate on their shared desire to transform the American education system in their own image. Norman Dodd, the director of research for the congressional committee who was granted access to the Carnegie Endowment's board minutes, explains.
So they approach the Rockefeller Foundation with the suggestion that that portion of education which could be considered domestic be handled by the Rockefeller Foundation, and that portion which is international should be handled by the endowment. And they then decide that the key to the success of these two operations lay in an alteration in the teaching of American history. So they approach four of the then most prominent teachers of American history in the country, people like Charles and Mary Bird, and their suggestion to them is, will they alter the manner in which they present this subject, and they get turned down flat. So they then decide that it is necessary for them to do, as they say, build our own stable of historians. And then they approach the Guggenheim Foundation, which specializes in historians. So they then decide that it is necessary for them to do, as they say, build our own stable of historians. And then they approach the Guggenheim Foundation, which specializes in fellowships, and say, when we find young men in the process of studying for doctorates in the field of American history, and we feel that they are the right caliber, will you grant them fellowships on our say-so? And the answer is yes. So under that condition, eventually they assemble 20. And they take this 20 potential teachers of American history to London, and there they're briefed into what is expected of them when, as, and if they
yeah, they briefed all right. Them niggas debriefed. We took them niggas to London. That's the goddamn. You know what that meeting about? That's the meeting, what's her name? Monique like, shit, I ain't going to that meeting. I ain't going over there with y'all. That's one of them. So you hear him. But I'm going to let him talk. I don't want to rewind it, you know what I'm saying?
And it was expected of them when, as, and if they secure appointments in keeping with the doctorates they will have earned. And that group of 20 historians ultimately becomes the nucleus of the American Historical Association. And then toward the end of the 1920s, the endowment grants to the American Historical Association $400,000 for a study of our history in a manner which points to what can this country can it look forward to in the future. And that culminates in a 7-volume study book study, the last volume of which is, of course, in essence, a summary of the contents of the other 6. And the essence of the last volume is the future of this country belongs to collectivism administered with characteristic American efficiency.
With this base for transformation firmly established, the Rockefeller Foundation and like-minded organizations embarked on a program so ambitious that it almost defies comprehension. They transformed the practice of medicine. As usual, the oligarchs that funded this change were also there to profit from it, and once again, John D. took his cue from Devil Bill's example. William Rockefeller had called his brand of snake oil Nujol for new oil, and Standard Oil spun off Nujol as a laxative under their Stanco subsidiary. Manufactured on the same premises as Flit, an insecticide also derived from Standard Oil's byproducts, Nujol sold at the druggist for 28 cents per 6-ounce bottle. It cost Standard Oil less than 1/5 of a cent to manufacture. Pharmaceuticals provided a lucrative new opportunity for the oligarchs, but in a turn-of-the-century America that was still largely based on naturopathic, herbal remedies, it was a tough sell. The oligarchy went to work changing that. In 1903 America that was still less than 1/5 of a cent to manufacture. Pharmaceuticals provided a lucrative new opportunity for the oligarchs, but in a turn-of-the-century America that was still largely based on naturopathic, herbal remedies, it was a tough sell. The
So now apparently everybody was on natural remedies, you know what I'm saying, natural medicines. They changed, they like, all this shit was just made up, bro. Like this shit is brand new. This shit, and it ain't been working. It ain't been nothing but turmoil. This shit deep, bro. They created the pharmaceuticals. They created the schools and made you niggas think didn't nobody know how to read. The nigga just said 93 to 100% motherfucking rate of motherfuckers who can read in the whole nation, a nation of readers. How these niggas, bro, cancel all your master teachers, nigga. Because they ain't never told you this shit. They changed everything, bro.
Manufactured on the same premises as Flit, an insecticide also derived from Standard Oil's byproducts, Nujol sold at the druggist for 28 cents per 6-ounce bottle. It cost Standard Oil less than 1/5 of a cent to manufacture. Pharmaceuticals provided a lucrative new opportunity for the oligarchs, but in a turn-of-the-century America that was still largely based on naturopathic, herbal remedies, it was a tough sell. The oligarchy went to work changing that. In 1901, John D. established
Shout out Sister Soul, man, radio. You goddamn right. I had to pause it just to build on what you saying in the chat. Go subscribe to her channel. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Since we see they just now changing it up, what's going on at the pharmacy? Oh, let's get to the root. Oh, Greek, pharmakia. Well, what does pharmakia mean? A healing or harmful medicine. A healing or poisonous herb or drug, a poisonous potion, magic potion. This is from Pharmakias, a preparer of drugs, a poisoner, a sorcerer, from Pharmakon. What? Charm, spell, enchantment. What the fuck? You all over the place, Hawk School. Shit, this shit all over the place, nigga. The fuck these motherfucking witches and warlocks everywhere, nigga. They on your ass. No pause.
The Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research. The institute recruited Simon Flexner, a pathology professor at the University of Pennsylvania, to serve as its director. His brother, Abraham, was an educator who was contracted by the Carnegie Foundation to write a report on the state of the American medical education system. His study, the Flexner Report, along with the hundreds of millions of dollars that the Rockefeller and Carnegie Foundations were to shower on medical research in the coming years, resulted in a sweeping overhaul of the American medical system. Naturopathic and homeopathic medicine, medical care focused on the unpatentable, unmarketable natural remedies and cures, more lengthy hospital stay, medical care focused on the unpatentable medical shower on medical research in the coming years, resulted in a sweeping overhaul of the American medical system.
I don't know what the fuck book this is, but we got to get it. You see this at the bottom, the last one? The Medical Education of the Negro, page 180. Medical sex.
Naturopathic and homeopathic medicine, medical care focused on the unpatentable, unmarketable natural remedies and cures, was now dismissed as quackery. Only drug-based allopathic medicine requiring expensive medical procedures and lengthy hospital stays was to be taken seriously. With the hundreds of millions of dollars that the Rockefeller and Carnegie Foundations were to shower on medical research in the coming years, resulted in a sweeping overhaul of the American medical system. Naturopathic and homeopathic medicine, medical care focused on the unpatentable, unmarketable natural remedies and cures, was now dismissed as quackery. Only drug-based allopathic medicine requiring expensive medical procedures and lengthy hospital stays was to be taken seriously.
The fortunes of Carnegie, Morgan, and Rockefeller financed surgery, radiation, and synthetic drugs. They were to become the economic foundations of the new medical economy.
The takeover of the medical industry was accomplished by the takeover of the medical schools. Well, the people that we're talking about, Rockefeller and Carnegie in particular, came to the picture and said, we will put up money. They offered tremendous amounts of money to the schools that would agree to cooperate with them. The donors said to the schools, we're giving you all this money. Now, would it be too much to ask if we could put some of our people on your board of directors to see that our money is being spent wisely? Almost overnight, all of the major universities received large grants from these sources and also accepted 1, 2, or 3 of these people that I mentioned on their board of directors, and the schools literally were taken over by the financial interests that put up the money. Almost overnight, all of the major universities received large grants from these sources and also accepted 1, 2, or 3 of these people that I mentioned on their board of directors, and the schools literally were taken over by the financial interests that put up the money. Now, what happened as a result of that is that the schools did receive an infusion of money. They were able to build new buildings. They were able to add expensive equipment to their laboratories. They were able to hire top-notch teachers. But at the same time as doing that, they skewed the whole thing in the direction of pharmaceutical drugs.
Giving you more. What you hoping? You ain't hoping in the Lord, huh? You hoping in vain, material, superficial shit. That's why you can't see me, house niggas. Tom, next caller. You don't like it? Kiss my ass, you don't like it. It's my house. whatever, then I'm wrong. You got me now. You got me now. You got me now. Oh, you figured me out. You fucking income fucking poop.
That was the efficiency in philanthropy. The doctors from that point forward in history would be taught pharmaceutical drugs. All of the great teaching institutions in America were captured by the pharmaceutical interests in this fashion. And it's amazing how little money it really took to do it. From these sources, and to see that our money is being spent wisely, we're giving you all this money, now agree to cooperate with them. Agree to cooperate with them. We're giving you all this money. We're giving you all this money. We're giving you all this money. Now, would it be too much to ask if we could put some of our people on your board of directors to see that our money is being spent wisely? Almost overnight, all of the major universities received large grants. Major universities. We're giving you all this money. We're giving you all this money. We're giving you all this money. Major universities. Almost overnight. Almost overnight. All of the major universities received large grants from these sources and also accepted 1, 2, or 3 of these people that I mentioned on their board of directors, and schools literally were taken over by the financial interests that put up the money. Now, what happened as a result of that is that the schools did receive an infusion of money. They were able to build new buildings. They were able to add expensive equipment to their laboratories. They were able to hire top-notch teachers. But at the same time as doing that, they skewed the whole thing in the direction of pharmaceutical drugs. That was the efficiency in philanthropy. The doctors from that point forward in history would be taught pharmaceutical drugs.
See, y'all always hear these motherfuckers talking about, oh, he was a great philanthropist and all these dick-sucking brotherhood motherfuckers. But that's the trick bag. The fuck? They were great philanthropists. No, they was paying everybody to fuck off with our motherfucking blood money. This still on the same topic, nigga. This nigga is over the grand jury up with the white prostitutes, the white slaves. How you think we got here?
An infusion of money. They were able to build new buildings. They were able to add expensive equipment to their laboratories. They were able to hire top-notch teachers. But at the same time as doing that, they skewed the whole thing in the direction of pharmaceutical drugs. That was the efficiency in philanthropy. The doctors from that point forward in history would be taught pharmaceutical drugs. All of the great teaching institutions in America were captured by the pharmaceutical interests in this fashion. In history would be taught pharmaceutical drugs. In history would be taught. In history would be taught. Captured. From these sources, and also accepted 1, 2, or 3 of these people that I mentioned on their board of directors, and the schools literally were taken over by the financial interests that put up the money.
So our people wasn't even taking that shit. And that's why your grandmama and them still knew the motherfucking recipes. That's why I say this shit just happened, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why your grandma knew the home remedy. Now, here, do this, baby. Now, here, put this in the water. Here, take a bath with this, nigga. Here, drink this. Nigga, my mama still goddamn was giving me, God bless her soul. May He forgive her even and have mercy on her, even as she had mercy on me as a child, and elevate her status in paradise forever. Amen. Even my mama knew the recipes. This shit new, bruh. But you know what ain't new? White slavery. That's old. See, that's why they had to get the orphan trains. You get all these motherfuckers over here so they could program them and teach them this false narrative, this false history. And then you got these goofy ass niggas who in on it, goddamn, at the college. This fake ass history. That's why all this shit that we be, all this shit that we be uncovering just, you know what I'm saying? The tribe, my nigga, like, what the fuck? You motherfuckers stupid. Like, but you know the Most High lead, strengthen my hand, so you already know how we rocking. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that way. Pimps up, hoes down. It's a nice topic. White slave traffic. Who knew? Let's pause that for a minute. 5603. Because we getting off all into medical shit. See, I'm writing shit down. We don't even do that. That's because the nigga know the goddamn pale face is finna come goddamn run up in the house and get the paper. What the fuck? Nobody finna write that shit down, nigga. I can remember that shit. They be like, you need that boy shitting me. Yeah, all right. For who? Well, you can ask me, nigga. Or over my dead body, you ain't gonna know, nigga. I am Hiram Abiff, nigga. Fuck you mean, nigga killed me, nigga. I ain't telling you now how we built this shit. What the fuck? This is coming from Chicago Crime Scenes Project. Just a blog. And it's talking about one of these fellers from the notorious Maurice Van Bever gang. Scallywag gang. Some Slavages. Let me tell you about them. James Big Jim Colosimo was the first great Chicago mobster, considered by many to be the founder of the quote-unquote The Outfit. He lived in a large home at this location, 3156 South Vernon. Born in Italy, Colosimo came to Chicago as a teenager and in 1897 became a sweeper with the White Wings, quote-unquote, a city-funded group that cleaned manure out of the streets. And for the not as learned, they cleaned horse shit out of the streets. That's the White Wings, a city-funded group. They cleaned horse shit out of the streets, 1897. Big Jim was a natural leader and soon organized the Street Sweepers Union. He parlayed that job into political power. So he went from cleaning up horse shit to political power. It's quite a jump. How do they just type this shit like nothing's happening here? Big Jim was a natural leader and soon organized the Street Sweepers Union. He parlayed that street sweeping, shit shoveling job into political power, which he used to become the city's king of vice for over 20 years. Colosimo married into the vice business, his wife Victoria being a brothel owner. And together with Maurice Van Bever, the gang ran a profitable white slavery ring in the 1910s and 1920s. Van Bever was imprisoned in 1909 together with the Mona Marshall case. Van Bever's trial brought public opinion to bear on interstate prostitution traffic, leading to the passage of the Mann Act in 1910. So this is what caused the Mann Act. This is before the Mann Act. Prostitution, these white slaves been a problem. Van Bever's absence opened up a top position in the gang for Johnny Torrio, who at the time was charged with blah, 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 blah. Fucking up my stream. This is from the Mead Project, the Chicago Tribune. Just in case you think I got it too far off topic, I haven't. I just had to give you a few little jewels that's gonna, it's all gonna come together. As usual. You know how we rock it. A member betrays band of panders. Jay Harrington tells of a systematic shipment of girls to Chicago resorts. Bureau is in St. Louis. More than 25 men in the gang are now under surveillance. This is from the Chicago Tribune, originally published. The Chicago Tribune. Member betrays band of panders. October 1909. Okay. The existence and the location of the St. Louis headquarters of the white slavers who have been carrying on a systematic traffic in women between Chicago and the Missouri City was learned yesterday by attorney Clifford G. Rowe in a confession from Jay Harrington, who following his arrest told of his own connection with the procuring of girls and implicated others. Mr. Rowe already has taken steps to get the help of the St. Louis police to apprehend the men who have been connected with the... Oh, you got to see this. You got to see this. Where are they taking these white hoes on? Where are they getting these white bitches to? No, say it ain't so. The Underground Railway. I thought the Underground Railroad was for slaves. No, it's for white bitches, nigga. The stupid ass nigga. Just put it all together when you rewrite it. We got our people on the board to make sure you write the right shit. So the Underground Railroad, yeah, when they find out about it, just say it was some nigger slaves. Mr. Rowe has already taken steps to get the help of the St. Louis police to apprehend the men who have been connected with the Underground Railway, by means of which girls are lured into Southside resorts. He declares 25 or more men have been engaged in this one gang of women traffickers. From Harrington and from inmates of resort, Mr. Rowe obtained evidence that the girls were brought directly to Chicago and placed in the Paris. Oh, this is the Paris. Bon appetit, bitches. Get naked. Were brought directly to Chicago and placed in the Paris, 2102 Armour Street, the White City. 2102 Dearborn Street, both owned by Maurice Van Bever and other places in the South Side Red Light District. He learned also that Van Bever, who is now facing a charge of pandering, communicated with his agents in St. Louis under the names of Clark and Stanley. Gang is under surveillance. Every avenue of communication between the Chicago and St. Louis agents and the resort keepers is under surveillance by men employed by Mr. Rowe, and they will arrest anyone who attempts to receive or send communication to the man concerned in the traffic, blah, blah, blah. It was discovered that the white slavers have headquartered in Columbus, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee, and New York, from which city girls are sent to Chicago accompanied by agents to the resort owners. It's the resort. According to the story told by former inmates of the Paris inmates, all the girls were compelled to purchase every stitch of wearing apparel through the owner, and from the men designated by him, they declare Van Bever endeavored to keep the girls in the place always in debt, and if they sought to leave, would threaten to call for the police. One woman refused to be frightened and a policeman was called. It is said he made her square her debt by saying he would take her to the police station if she refused again. Oh no, you owe him money. Pay him. You got his money? Do you want to go to prison? These motherfuckers wicked. Let's see what this says. We got a bitch that ran off. Ran off on the plug. Now, let's not forget, right? This is, if you want to go look it up, bitch ass nigga, for all the disbelievers that's watching and not saying nothing, you could at least hit the like. Chicago Tribune. All right. October 24th, 1909. It's just typed out, nigga, so we could read it easier, motherfucker. One girl escapes captors. Harrington confessed that he and Dick Tyler, a sort of manager for Van Beaver, and I ain't even finna say it right, enticed Frankie Grace Davis, and Tootsie Thomas from St. Louis. They sound like they some goddamn Aborigines. Tootsie Thomas. Put some bows and arrows in the chat if y'all think Tootsie Thomas is goddamn Aboriginal. Hey man, Tootsie Thomas from St. Louis. Oh, they got loose. You know what happened to Tootsie? You know what happened to Tootsie. Frankie Grace discovered the character of the Paris. There it is again. Everybody knows about it. And escaped the espionage of the keeper. She went to a friend she knew in Chicago and borrowed enough money to get back to St. Louis. We have complete knowledge of the working of the gang, said Mr. Rowe. The men in St. Louis rounded up the girls, getting them principally from restaurants, dance halls, and department stores. They scraped up an acquaintance with the young woman, poured into their ears. Let's see. Yeah, they just came up. Okay. The possibility of making high wages at the various lines of works in Chicago. When the girls indicated they would like to go to Chicago, they were taken to the St. Louis headquarters of the ring and there introduced to friends from Chicago who know just where to find the jobs for which they wanted. Oh yeah, bitch, I know who hiring. Bitch, get your ass from this shit crazy. The women were placed on trains in care of Chicago agents and brought directly to the resorts. After the arrival here, they were not allowed outside of the resort. Tootsie Thomas is now facing a state charge of disorderly conduct. I knew Tootsie wasn't to be played with, bruh. Put some bows and arrows in the chat if you knew goddamn Tootsie wasn't going for that shit. She must have been a mulatto. Hold on. Tootsie the mulatto. I think Tootsie was passing. She outside. She catching charges. You know what I'm saying? She done caught a disorderly conduct. She was spirited about from resort to resort in the Levee District before our police could find her. She was found hidden in a flat at 20th Street and Wabash Avenue. She is now out on bond, but is under surveillance. Yeah. Shout out Tootsie Thomas. Long live Tootsie Thomas. Former bartender convicted. Mike Hart, a former bartender at the Paris Resort, who was convicted on a pandering charge before Judge Newcomer yesterday, testified that he had helped to bring several girls to Chicago resorts from St. Louis. He admitted that one of them was Molly Hart, his wife. What? Who was sentenced to the Bridewell 10 years ago after conviction on a pandering charge. Hart said he brought his wife to the Paris last April and that Van Bever paid their car fare from St. Louis to Chicago. He asserted that although the single face between the two cities is only, probably should have said fair, $5.80, the resort keeper charged them with a $25 for railway fare. Damn, them niggas goddamn busting heads. Taxing. He taxing them. Oh, yeah, man, it was $25 for the ticket, dog. Yeah. You trying to get this bitch out of here, ain't you? The goddamn tickets was $25. That shit was $5.80. The resort keeper charged them with $25 for the railroad fare, and they were compelled to pay that amount. Hart was sentenced to 10 months in the Bridewell and to pay a fine of $300. I still can't get over goddamn Bo June. You ain't heard of Bo June? Pussy costs more than a trip to the moon. The other feature was that Mr. John D. Rockefeller Jr. was selected as the foreman of the grand jury. The newly elected district attorney, Mr. Charles S. Whitman, appointed Mr. James Bronson Reynolds to take charge of the investigation. Uh-oh. New motherfuckers going to take charge of the investigation now. Being associated with him until the appointment of the latter as magistrate, blah, 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 blah. Presentment of the additional grand jury for the January term, blah, blah, blah. Rockefeller like, no, I got it. In the matter of the investigation as to the alleged existence in the county, and look, all through the paper, all they doing is saying, oh, ain't nothing, this don't have nothing to do with organized crime, it was just one motherfucker. There have been spread broadcasts in the public prints statements that the city of New York is a center or clearinghouse for an organized traffic in women for immoral purposes, or what has come to be known as the white slave traffic. Some of these statements may have been published with ulterior motives and may have been mere sensationalisms, but some are said to be based upon official investigation and charges made by persons who profess to have knowledge of the fact. This traffic in women it is charged follows two main objects, blah, 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 blah. So he trying to goddamn cover it all up. You know what I'm saying? Doing what they doing. They got all these new societies. The New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. The Daughters of the Poor. What'd it say? A former undersheriff in the county of Essex. This nigga the police. He with the shit. The nigga just said he was going to call the police on the bitch if she tried to leave. Why is this nigga in charge of the goddamn Daughters of the Poor? And the goddamn tongs. And then they list, look, because this how they let you know everybody with the shit. Whole list of them motherfuckers. They really are the people that's with the bullshit, all the fuckery.
His profits or controlled the oil and tarnished the Rockefellers' tarnished image. It was Lee that suggested giving the family name to Rockefeller Center and filming John D. handing out dimes in public.
In philanthropy, the doctors from that point forward, history would be taught pharmaceutical drugs. All of the great teaching institutions in America were captured by the pharmaceutical interests in this fashion. And it's amazing how little money it really took to do it.
The oligarchy birthed entire medical industries from their own research centers and then sold their own products from their own petrochemical companies as the cure. It was Frank Howard, a Standard Oil of New Jersey executive, who would go on to persuade Alfred Sloan and Charles Kettering to donate their fortunes to the cancer center that would then bear their name. As director of research at Sloan Kettering, Howard appointed Cornelius Rhodes, a Rockefeller Institute pathologist, to develop his wartime research on mustard gas for the U.S. Army into a new cancer therapy. Under Rhodes's leadership, nearly the entire program and staff of the Chemical War Service was reformed into the Sloan Kettering Drug Development Program, where they worked on converting mustard gas into chemotherapy. And once again, the Rockefellers' own snake oil was being sold as a cancer cure-all. The oligarchs' interest in the burgeoning pharmaceutical industry converged in companies like IG Farben, a drug and chemical cartel formed in Germany in the early 20th century. Royal Dutch's own Prince Bernhard served on an IG Farben subsidiary's board in the 1930s, and the cartel's American operation, set up in cooperation with Standard Oil, included on its board Standard Oil president Walter Teagle as well as Paul Warburg of Kuhn-Loeb and Company, itself headed by Jacob Schiff of the Rothschild broker family. At its height, IG Farben was the largest chemical company in the world and the fourth largest industrial concern in the world, right behind Standard Oil of New Jersey. The company was broken up after World War II, but like Standard Oil, its various pieces remained intact, and today BASF, one of its chemical offshoots, remains the largest chemical company in the world, while Bayer and Sanofi, two of its pharmaceutical offshoots, are among the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. Not content merely to monopolize the fields of education and medicine, the same oligarchical interests banded together to take control of America's finances. In 1910, John D. Rockefeller Jr.'s own father-in-law, Senator Nelson Aldrich, Frank Vanderlip of the National City Bank, and Paul Warburg, as well as various agents of J.P. Morgan, met in complete secrecy on Jekyll Island to hammer out the details of what would go on to become the Federal Reserve, America's central bank. The Fed, established in 1913, would be run by hand-picked appointees of the oligarchy and their banking associates, including, perhaps inevitably, Standard Oil president and American IG director Walter Teagle. The Rockefeller family would go on to formally enter the banking field in the 1950s when James Stillman Rockefeller, the grandson of John D's brother, was appointed director of National City Bank. Meanwhile, John D's own grandson, David Rockefeller, would go on to take over Chase Manhattan Bank, the longtime banking partner of the Standard Oil empire. In this move, the Rockefeller story perfectly mirrored that of their fellow oligarchs, the Rothschilds. Whereas the Rothschilds had supplemented their banking fortune with their oil interests, the Rockefellers supplemented their oil fortune with banking interests. Springboarding from success to success as they consolidated monopolies across every field of human activity, the oligarchs' ambitions became even larger. This time, their goal was to consolidate control over the very food supply of the world itself. And once again, they would use philanthropy as the cover for their business takeover.
The Green Revolution began in 1940.
Did I just let a whole commercial play? Cause man, I had to piss low key. Excuse my language, ladies. I'm almost some hot shit. I had to grab a snack cause I'm like, fuck it, man, we here. It's 3 hours, shit, fuck it. I don't want to get too far away from where I want to go. I'm sure you learned something though, regardless. Put some bows and arrows in the chat, man, if you're learning something, man. If you got value out of this video, please make sure to hit the like, subscribe, share the video. Tribe. So we need to bring it around full circle. We've talked about a lot. We've talked about human trafficking, motherfucking. I think saying the topics is probably like all flag words for motherfucking YouTube's algorithm. However, it is what it is. We big hawking. So, goddamn human trafficking, goddamn secret societies. What else we done found in this motherfucker? Goddamn fucking Mexican Negro giants, motherfucking. Goddamn, bro. Witches, warlocks, motherfucking sorcerers. It's the American way.
Welcome, everyone. Adam,
Yeah, man, I had to go get me some goddamn snack, son. I'm about to bring it around full circle right now. Watch this. We gotta keep it in the 3, you know what I'm saying? Or the Tesla shit they stole from us. Watch this. And I just found this shit random. Which one was first, though? This shit gonna fuck you up. Yes, this is it right here. So yeah, so I'm like, okay, the Comanches, the horses, hold on, I need to find some more on this bitch real quick. If you're just tuning in, man, make sure you share the stream. You know they're trying to, we shadow ban clan, man. You know what it is. Tribe. I don't know why my TV is. Shit high power. Hey, look, when I was studying this shit initially, motherfucking, I told you my goddamn a 55-inch TV fell off the fucking wall, bro. Looking this bitch up, reading this bitch books and shit, and all this old weird ass shit your homeboy recommended. I ain't scared of them, you know what I'm saying? I ain't the type. That's all the fuck you could do is knock my motherfucking TV off the wall. You can't touch me. Can't do shit to me. And that shit don't scare me at all. I ain't even gonna catch no goddamn brandishing a motherfucking firearm charge on this motherfucker. But saying that should give you an understanding of what time we on over here, St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? This picture still fucks me up. But now it makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? Everything is all making more sense. But watch me bring it all together. So yeah, the Comanches, the fucking Mormons, the fucking North shit. Oh yeah, this bitch. .360 about to go down right now, man. You already know what we do over here at Hawk School, man. You know what I'm doing every day.
Giving you more of what you hoping for. You ain't hoping in the Lord, huh? You hoping in vain, material, superficial shit. That's why you can't see me, house niggas.
Tribe. Yeah, man, that's my nigga, man. Shout out Reverend X, man. I really appreciate him coming through, man. And, just keeping it all the way real. See, like this link I found. I wonder if I emailed it to myself. It was a weird place to find it, too. It was like in a dictionary, a website that's actually for dictionaries and shit. I mean, yeah, it was a dictionary, but it was goddamn. I'm like, why is this bitch in a dictionary? But they goddamn shapeshifters. And see, I'm really doing a whole study on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got me having to tap into some old other shit, man. Just to say the goddamn tribe, man. I gotta go over here and goddamn fuck with these bitches that be having TVs falling off the wall and shit. Just reading the words they wrote. They shit get heavy shit on it like that. Y'all think it's a game, bro. I'm just in a motherfucking, it's like motherfucking white light motherfucking fire all around me, nigga. Water all at the same goddamn time. I ain't worried about them. But see, I be having lucid dreams and shit, so my dreams be crazy, bro. Fucking with y'all in this shit here. This bitch. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. A homeboy recommended this bitch, man. What you want, dog? Straight up. got this bitch everywhere. I'm exposing all that shit. Fuck you thought, nigga. What you thought, bitch? What this bitch thought? Tribe? Let me get goddamn tribe in the motherfucking chat if you ain't scared of these motherfucking witches. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Your thoughts ain't my thoughts. Bitch, I'm flowing straight from the survival scroll. Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
Next caller. Appreciate you, Rev. I digress. This bitch. Oh, yeah, I said I'm going to check in my email because I emailed myself the link. That's what I had to start doing, man. Don't worry. 360 coming, man. Be cool. All these other niggas out here lying to you. If they ain't tribe, nigga, then you already know what time it is. Peace to all the tribes, man. Shout out to all my real niggas. I wouldn't give a fuck if you was a nigga on YouTube doing credit repair, nigga. At least you ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? Whole motherfucking Pan-African goddamn panel of motherfucking dick-sucking ass liars.
Tom, next caller. You don't like it? Kiss my ass, you don't like it. It's my house.
Tribe. Fuck is this bitch at? Hey, all you see in my motherfucking copyright claim, copyright claim, copyright claim, copyright claim. That's all I see in my motherfucking email. But you know what else in there? Your dispute has been submitted. Claim released. Yeah, bitch. Fuck you talking about? We fucked up. I ain't stupid. Where is this white bitch at? That's the topic, y'all. There ain't no disrespect. Talking about some prostitutes. Nigga, ain't nothing in my email. I don't be pandering and shit, you know what I'm saying? Sending dick pics and shit, so I don't have to worry about that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like some of y'all niggas. That's why they be having y'all hemmed up, because y'all be doing all that weirdo shit. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't do that weirdo shit, you won't have nothing to worry about, man. My mom always said what's done in the dark always come to light. Got to know that. But you know, you weirdo ass niggas don't believe in the Most High, so you think you could get away with shit. You think ain't nobody keeping track. But you ain't gonna be called to account. Ain't no record being kept. I know what I'm on. This motherfucking witch is hiding. Where you at, bitch? Where you at, bitch? Yeah, bitch. Hawking. Hawks don't fly with pigeons. Subscribe to the Unconquered Tribe. Hawking. Found you, bitch. I told you, nigga. It's at encyclopedia2.thefreedictionary.com. Who the fuck paid for that site? What the fuck kind of weirdo shit is this, bro? All right, if you didn't watch the other video, we're just going to bring you up to speed. She began to study metaphysics and alternatives to traditional religions when she was a teenager. She claims to remember wondering at the age of 5 why God was not a woman. Okay. In her early teens, she received her first deck of tarot cards from her older cousin. 2 years later, she was accused of being a witch. Okay. Just going to keep it up to speed. Fast forward. Okay. Her search led her to Wicca. Today, Silver is a respected Wiccan elder and mother of 4 children, all of them initiated into witchcraft. Okay. Fast forward. German, blah, blah, blah. Silver practices what she terms as Euro Wicca, a mixture of witchcraft from German-American folk magic. Okay, powwower. Okay. She founded the Black Forest Clan, 1991. Okay. Okay, 1991. Go back. Yeah, we know what the Klan is. Just a social group. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Large number of covens remain a part of her overall organization, although they do not hive. They're all separate. That's what that means. Oh, zoom it in. Most High. Most High said they can't see it. They think you're making it up. Today, Silver is respected Wiccan elder and mother of 4 children, all of them initiated into witchcraft. Okay, okay, okay. Is there more? Is there more? Hawk School? Is that it? That's it? That's not much, is it? Silver refers to herself as priestess of the Morrigan, reflecting her descent from Michael Reagan's Irish tradition. Michael Reagan, who was initiated into the Saxon tradition by this author, founded an Irish tradition. The line passed to Silver by the way of Lord Serpent. Okay, Morrigan. Oh, that's the newspaper, the name. Oh, okay. Irish goddess of fertility, war of death. Okay, 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 death. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. It's all going to come around. Closely associated with horses and the earth itself. One of the triad of Morgan, Nieman matchup, blah, blah, blah. Made it with Doghide at Sam Hain. Like, what the fuck? What? Halloween? Sam Hain, what the fuck? What? That's a whole nother bill. Hawk School, what the fuck, dude? Got down some Viking ass, mythology ass, witchcraft ass bitch. Comanches and horses and Mormons and shit don't even go together. I know, bro, right? That's the same shit I was saying. The fucking Vikings got shit to do with the Mormons, nigga. Let's watch a video, man. You know him.
The adventure begins by looking at this lighthouse in Spanish Fork, Utah, as the recording of this Sunday. Lighthouse in Spanish Fork, Utah, as the recording of this Sunday, June 5th, 2022. The mountains in the background, the traffic going by, my mom and dad making their way up to this landmark. We're going to be heading 182 miles south of here to some scenic countryside. Little family trip out of Salt Lake into Moab. Welcome everyone. Adam the Woo here. File this one under travel day. We'll be traversing down to some pretty scenic regions down Highway 6 and then connecting with another road before getting to Moab, where we'll be spending at least a night or two in some accommodations there. Beauty! A little bit of a family trip. Are you? That's good. AD of the Icelanders. Head down there with me. I'm inviting you to join me. I'm inviting you to join me. Shall you? That's good. And reading this placard here, the first settlement of the Icelanders in the United States. Leif Erikson, an Icelander, discovered America in 1000 AD. 8 centuries later, 16 pioneers from Iceland established in Spanish Fork, Utah, and there is a Viking ship up top here at the tippy top of this lighthouse, which stands probably about 20 feet tall or so. It's kind of a nice little park out of in Spanish Fork.
Yeah. Hold on, they get better.
AD, 8 centuries later, 16 pioneers from Iceland established in Spanish Fork, Utah, and there is a Viking ship up top here at the tippy top of this lighthouse, which stands probably about 20 feet tall or so. It's kind of a nice little park. Got a seating arrangement over here and this rock which sets here, and quite a few, yes, a veritable plethora of information placards.
Let's see what it says. The Icelandic members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints built a meeting house where they conducted church service in Icelandic because many of them found it difficult to learn English. In 1892, the Icelandic Lutherans of Spanish Fork built a small frame church where the sermons were taught in Icelandic and English. Runolfur Runolfsson, who had joined the LDS Church in Iceland and immigrated to Spanish Fork, converted to Lutheranism after his arrival. He had been ordained Lutheran minister in Iceland.
Scattered through here, at least 8 or 9 of them. But the rock in question, it actually says right here, and it stated rock from Iceland. Right down here, it says rock from Iceland. This rock was removed from the shores on May 6, 2005.
Slow down, Stuart. Many Icelandic converts to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints were baptized on the shores of Vestmannaeyjar, Iceland, in what is called the Mormon Pond. This rock was removed from those shores on May 6, 2005. Bro? And brought to Spanish Fork. It stands as a symbol of the commitment, courage, and sacrifice of those who left to their posterity a legacy of faith, perseverance, and endurance. Bro?
And brought to Spanish Fork stands as a symbol of commitment, courage, and sacrifice to those who left their posterity and legacy of faith, perseverance, and endurance.
Now let me show you how, let me show you some shit, bro. Let's see what's going on in Utah, bro. We can't get out there, nigga. You know what it is. Let's see what's out there.
Just number, take a look. A few hundred there. They are traversing up the side of that hill. And that's not even the bulk of all the shit. It seems like an outrageous number. Miles up the road, saw something pretty fascinating here off the side. At least a few hundred or more sheep, maybe even close to 1,000 sheep over there. I mean, it seems like an outrageous number. Take a look. A few hundred there. They are traversing up the side of that hill.
See, while y'all ain't putting this shit together, this shit is motherfucking night and day, nigga. Light and dark, nigga. And they over there goddamn playing like they us. They shepherding sheep and shit on your granddaddy land. But check it out. Just pay attention.
And that's not even the bulk of all the sheep. There's a few more scattered there. And then a large congregation just nestled over there in the shade, even though it is kind of overcast. Listen closely. It's hard to hear there. Number 435. The 2015, after 60 years and 5 months of dependable service. And I believe standing here.
Hold on.
Welcome everyone, Adam.
Hold on. One more. We gotta fuck you up one more time. See, they don't know what's going on, but we know what's going on.
Adam the Woo here as a recording of.
Now this dude, Daddy's smart than a motherfucker. Watch this.
Pronounced Gilgal or Gilgal?
It depends on whether you say it in English or Hebrew.
Is a Hebrew word?
Yeah, it's the city with the city in the Old Testament. Probably Gilgal. Probably Gilgal with the city in the Old Testament.
Is a Hebrew word?
Yeah, it's the city with the city in the Old Testament. Probably Gilgal was the proper pronunciation.
And the meaning is Circle of Stones. And there's a stone here. And as
what space that is?
That's just a rock up top. Looks almost like a centurion carving.
It does.
So Thomas Battersby dedicated the last 18 years of his life to creating this in his backyard, according to the article I was reading. So evidently his house was somewhere over in here. I just assume that's when Joshua lived.
That's supposed to be the date of his. But one of the two that said we can go in and take it, guys. Everybody else said, guys. Joshua was one of the 2 spies that went into the Promised Land. One of the 12 spies, but one of the 2 that said Promised Land. Joshua was one of the 2 spies that went into the Promised Land. Joshua was one of the 2 spies that went into the Promised Land. One of the 12 spies, but one of the 2 that said we can go in and take it, guys. Everybody else said, no, we're not going to do that.
We could go in and take it, guys. We can 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 go in and take it, guys.
The captain of the Lord's host said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place whereupon thou standest is holy. So this one obviously, as you were saying, Dad, does not have a face. So it's up for, like, I guess, artistic representation. Now this one does have a face. 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 And this is supposed to be, or is, now this one does have a lived.
That's supposed to be the date of his.
Now this one does have a face. Joshua, was it Joshua Smith?
Joseph.
Joseph Smith. Joshua, was it Joshua Smith?
Joseph.
Joseph Smith. Joshua, was it Joshua Smith?
Joseph.
Joseph Smith. Now this one does have a face. And this is supposed to be, or is, Joshua, was it Joshua Smith?
Joseph.
Joseph Smith.
Either Joseph or Brigham Young.
Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith wrote the Book of Mormon. How do we know that's what Joseph Smith looked like?
Her LED.
How do we know that's what Joseph Smith looked like?
Her wings.
How do we know that's what Joseph Smith looked like?
Her wings are furled. F-U-R-L-E-D. Her ear is heavy. She broods on the world. Who'll tell me her secret the ages have kept. I awaited the seer. Reaching down. 2 eyes, 1, 2. A nose here, and then the mouth, and then just reaching down to the heart and the... No.
Tools of the trade. This does look like his tools of the trade.
His tools of the trade. They got monuments and all this shit. Now we about to learn something, because I learned something today that I never knew. And his daddy must know some shit that he ain't got no business knowing. He know the whole Book of Mormon, but he ain't no Mormon. But check this out.
Getting in the end?
Probably.
Alpha being the first letter in the Greek alphabet?
Yeah.
That's Greek.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
So that's Greek.
Yeah. I think that's Alpha Omega.
So that's Greek. Alpha being the first letter in the Greek alphabet? Really?
I think that's Alpha Omega.
So that's Greek.
I think that's Alpha Omega.
So that's Greek. Alpha being the first letter in the Greek alphabet?
Yeah.
Omega being the last letter?
Would be my guess.
Alpha, Omega, beginning and the end?
Probably.
I used to know the Greek alphabet. I've stated this many times. But I'm probably going to fail by saying it. Okay,
Now, we just learned how they said that 93% of motherfuckers could read in the nation, and goddamn me, niggas know Greek and all this shit. These motherfuckers teaching this shit to their kids. His daddy know the shit. This how you know all this shit new, because his parents probably taught him. Check him out.
I'm going to mess this up. Alpha, Omega,
his daddy know it.
Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Phi, Psi, Omega.
Psi, Phi. I screwed it up myself. Oh. No.
Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Phi, Psi, Omega?
No. Omega's the last letter. Phi, Psi, Omicron, Pi, Rho, Sigma, Tau.
I forgot those.
Upsilon.
What the fuck y'all teaching y'all kids? But watch this nigga drop this jewel though. His daddy finna drop a jewel.
I have to say this place is very impressive.
It is impressive. I'm impressed.
And I like you look under this archway here and you get kind of the view through the like keyhole element.
Yeah.
Okay, that was Daniel again over there in the distance with Joseph.
Joshua.
Joshua.
The guy with no head.
Joshua.
Yeah.
And then Joseph Smith is who the Sphinx is.
Right. Interesting that they chose a Sphinx to put his face on, but that's beside the point. That's
What?
Egyptian. Sphinx is Egyptian mythology. Or Egyptian religion.
It's like an angel blowing a trumpet up there.
Oh, up top, yeah. Way up there. Economy.
Hosea.
Solid. Wow. Joshua.
The word, the cornerstone. Oh, it's the corner of a building. In the Bible, the verse, the word, the cornerstone. This, the idea of, if you heard it in the Bible, the verse, the word, the cornerstone. This is what a cornerstone was. We think of a cornerstone as the corner of a building that they build a building around.
Right.
But when you built a building like this, the chief stone was the one they put in the top that held everything together. In the Bible, the verse, the word, the cornerstone. This is what a cornerstone was. We think of a cornerstone as the corner of a building that they build a building around.
Right.
But when you built a building like this, the chief stone was the one they put in the top that held everything together. Yeah, of, if you heard it in the Bible, the verse, the word, the cornerstone. This is what a cornerstone was. We think of a cornerstone as the corner of a building that they build a building around.
Right.
But when you built a building like this, the chief stone was the one they put in the top that held everything together.
That is something I never knew, because I just assumed, like you said, it would be the corner of a building. And I've heard that term hundreds of times in my life, the cornerstone.
There's another word that's slipping my mind. This, the chief stone was, when you built a building like this, the chief stone was the corner of a building that they build a building around.
Right.
But when you built a building like this, the chief stone was the one they put in the top that held everything together.
That is something I never knew, because I just assumed, like you said, it would be the corner of a building. And I've heard that term hundreds of times in my life.
I probably said too much. I probably said too much.
Who cut your hair? Who cut your hair?
But this is business that needs to be taken care of, you know. Slap on the back is all fine and dandy. Yeah. But it needs promotion. It needs promotion. It needs, yeah. Big tip. Are you laughing, biatch? You find it funny? You find it funny?